Hello everybody, welcome to Pentiment. Are we gonna finish it today? We might, who knows. I'm really tired today, I don't know why. I think I'm fighting a cold that my daughter has. You know, I'm vaguely under the weather. Hey everybody, 3 a.m. Nico Reddy, you should go to sleep. I'm an advocate for sleep. I don't think anything is worth losing sleep over. Trying to turn this so there we go. Oh, that's good. Yeah, sleep. Please sleep. There's no reason not to sleep. Like, this is not worth your sleep. All right? That's the hours of your life. Hey, Commander Squid. Got a lot of people here. Rocket Soup. KB Jams. We're going to finish this. Oh, no. Cleavesville has a cold, too. It's just the first of the year, but I'm sure it's the first of many. So what can you say that? Let's Skitty Brothers. Yeah, Intimus Primus. Okay, so I'll show you what a mom I am. I got this. Okay, it was a fundraiser, so I had to get something. It's Calliope's mom. What have I become, y'all? What have I become? I just want. Listen, I got my elliptical. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to actually treat my body the way that I used to treat it. And be able to wear tight clothing again, okay? That's my New Year's resolution. I want to be able to, once a year, wear Hoochie Mama outfits and feel super confident in them. The dog's great. You become Flappy's mom. I mean, I've always been Flappy's mom. It's just, I've got branded. You're right. I had a little coffee with one of my wonderful mods, Deceptive Mirror. And I was showing some tattoos. I don't know why we were showing Instagram tattoos to each other. And she said, Mama, I want you to tattoo my face on you. And I was like, where? Your cheek. So my daughter wants me to have her face like right here. I come here for winning 2 Marbles Grand Prix. Wow, the real Mr. Cairo. We have a celebrity in the audience? Yeah, right next to the teardrop tattoos. I did say I needed my face. I don't know if a facial tattoo would be the right move for me in this. How's the Invisalign going? Hey, David, thank you so much. I started grinding my jaw again. After 8 weeks, my body was like, okay, let's be neurotic again. So that's kind of sucky. This particular tray has been a little bit harder to adjust to. But it's been like 10 days now, and I'm adjusted, and I'm ready to get a new one. Invisalign update stream. Hey, Cat Black. So the Invisalign acts as a night guard, so essentially it is a night guard. But I still am clenching my jaw quite a bit. So I think I'm gonna go try to get Botox in the jaw, because I hear it really, really, really helps. And like the month that I wasn't clenching my jaw as much with the new Invisalign, it was like the best I've slept in years. So, hey ass, welcome. Yeah, good night, King Cots. So I'm definitely gonna try to go get that. You know, might as well just, I've been clenching a lot. I wake up with head and neck pain. Exactly, Talia, that's exactly what happened. It was actually, it went away for a while. I think because I was just like so unfamiliar with how my teeth felt. I wasn't clenching as much, and now I'm back to it, and it's not great. Hey, what's up, Hamburger? Missed watching The Guild? Well, you can watch it on YouTube. I uploaded all the episodes there. Thank you, Red Banshee, for your sub. Yeah, it's the Lexapro that causes me to grind. I was clenching a little bit before, but I'm on such a low dose. But even just a slight dose makes me grind and clench my teeth. It's just, oh, you broke how did you break 3 teeth? I clenched so bad I got eye twitches. What do you do for it, Liz? Did you get the Botox? It's supposed to be very great. It's supposed to be really good. Mental health meds are wicked bad for grinding and clenching. I know, but I'm not going to go without my meds, so. I've clenched my jaw out of joint? Oh my God. Wow. I got a mouth guard. Yeah. I always will wear a mouth guard for the Invisalign, I have to wear the Invisalign at night for the rest of my life, which is fine because I like it. It feels like Spanx for my teeth, but oh, the real Mr. Cairo, you need a night guard, okay? It helps a lot. You don't want to have flat teeth. How are you going to eat, you know, antidepressants cause it. Yes, up in the dust. Yes. If you look it up, SSRIs especially cause clenching and all that stuff. When I stopped Lexapro for like 6 months, I stopped, you know, after about a month, I stopped grinding, which was great until my hormonal cycle made me have insomnia up to 2 weeks a month. And I was like, oh, I'd rather just clench. It's like a weighted blanket for your teeth. It's true. I might try the Botox. Yeah. I'm going to try it. I'm just going to try it. Yeah, you know what? You have to prioritize your health, and then everything you can work around. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can, I know that SNRIs are some that they don't cause as much grinding. So there's some, you know, of those meds that don't. I tried one of those and it was awful because it made me so hyper. So who needs teeth but you can feel like a functioning human being? Exactly. All right, so let's get into this. I think we're the third act. We lost Andreas. And now we're going to finish this again. And we're playing Magdalena, which is really interesting. Let's get in here. Ooh, okay. So we're playing the kid. Saint Satya's shrine. Martha especially likes to come leave offings for her. So Martha, was that the little girl? Everybody is grown up again. Hey, what's up? David McCann, thank you so much. Okay. Sister Gertrude is the best. Okay, we're going to just try to... Everything's new now. Agnes gathers chamomile here every year to prepare her cures for the coming year. Agnes? Is that the other little girl? Hey, Sir Pug. Thank you, Air for Life. Thank you so much, guys. I can't do Andreas' voice anymore. God damn it. I mean, Magdalena can talk like this. The waterfall is always so beautiful. The waterfall's so beautiful. Thank you, Drab. Oh, wow, look at all these Prime subs. Thank you, guys. Drabardi. What's up, Gorance? What's up? We're just gonna, I mean, I think we're gonna finish this game. I don't know how long this act is. Usually the acts took 2 to 3 times, but. Hey, Gorance, I'm good. The old salt mines. No one's minded tossing for ages. Let's see, is the, oh, I don't have anything to say about that innocence. Did we ever figure that out? Whether that grave site was, probably had to do with another person I didn't accuse. I'm indeed watching. I just want to accidentally spoil anything. You're okay. Did Smokey die? I mean, like, we're so far. I can't believe how quickly the leaves changed this year. Okay. It's nice to see some green this time of year. Horehound is one of the few plants that grows year-round here. Stop. All right. Smokey. Oh, Smokey's super old now. Oh, and Black Slav's back. Hello, Magdalena. Hello, Magdalene. Light up. It's nice to see some green this time of year. Okay, great. All right, we got 2 dudes here. Who's going to be murdered? That's my question. Hello. Hey, hello. Okay, I want to apologize to anybody Italian. I was kind of having fun with Italian the other day, but I realized if this was another language, like Japanese, like it would be super offensive. So I don't know. I certainly didn't mean it in a way that I was making fun of Italian. I was just kind of having fun. Half the time I was actually reading, and then I was just going so fast. So hopefully nobody was offended. Uh-oh, is she still alive? What do we know? I mean, we don't know anybody. We don't know if anything was anybody, and I don't have any special skills. Mary, Mother of Jesus, her painting has been here as long as I can remember. It's okay to do Italian accents. It's in the Geneva Convention. Okay, good. It's what the accent is. I work with Italians. I don't... Brother Guy, we totally... No, we already accused Brother Guy. The mill burned down, and so did the scriptorium, which is, like, wild. Uh-oh. Oh, there she is. Elsa is old. Hello, Magdalena. I mean, she's not old, but she's... Bless you, Magdalena. Oh, there's Anna. Okay. Oh, and there's a kid. Ulrike. Hello, Ulrika. Hello. What are you doing? Watching! Very well, keep up the good work. Work hard, just like Mama. I will work now. She does have Andreas's hat. Maybe she got it out of the fire. Okay, so when we last left the story, I think their dad got killed by the mob, right? Burned to death? Who's this kid? Oh, little Andreas! Hello. Good day, Master Muller. What are you up to today? Drawing. Anything interesting? No secrets! Oh, I see. I'll leave you to it then. Wow, that's kind of sweet. We're gonna pet this dog because this dog was not alive last time we saw. Susa. Susa, good boy. A good boy. A good boy. A Susa. A Susa. A Susa. Okay. I don't know who she married. Autumn, I assume it's Anna's kid? Hey, we can't go to the ruins. This old statue of St. Moritz has seen better days. We couldn't go to the ruins, guys. All right, well, let's go up to the, I could smell the anise on the breeze. It reminds me of when I was little. Hey, soy drops. I don't know if we'll ever get more of the guild, guys. I mean, there really isn't any video anymore, so. But you could watch what we did on YouTube. Sometimes we play D&D together. Sometimes we stream together. Ursula was a little girl as well. Yeah, absolutely. And we'll do then we'll go to town after this. Look at this. It's the hand. The hand of St. Maurice. The poor Clares take care of it now that the Benedictines are gone. Oh, the Benedictines are gone. The Poor Clares, order of a contemplative nuns founded by Saints Clare and Francis of Assisi. Francis of Assisi. As the name suggests, the Poor Clares are devoted to extreme poverty. They subsist purely on the donation of alms. Wow. Interesting. Ryan has not been twitching at all. He's on a road trip right now. I'm trying to get him to stream again. I would love him to. He's so funny. The horses are gone too. Yeah, let's go look at the... So the Benedictine monks are gone. Let's see. Let's see if the same Illuminata. Is Illuminata here? No, it's Francisca. Bless you, Magdalena. God bless you. Okay. Let's see. Just checking it out. Oh, it's no, it's Margaret. So I guess the nuns are still here. Hello, Margaret. It's Magdalena. Oh, Magdalena, God bless you. You don't normally come to the convent alone. What brings you here? Not that you're not welcome, of course. It's always wonderful to have a visitor. I had some spare time and I thought I would say hello. Oh, well, hello. Ha ha ha. It's good to hear your voice, though. I enjoy it when outsiders visit the convent. Do you miss the outside world much, mister? Oh, yes, sometimes I miss the other Benedictine sisters, especially. She never admitted, but Sister Lisbeth had the most wonderful voice. I always stood next to her if I could. Why stay then? Why didn't you leave when the Benedictine left Kerso? Truth be told, I was so frightened to leave. Kerso is my home. I didn't like the idea of becoming accustomed to a new place. Learning the convent's ins and outs was hard enough. Hey, Shaka, I never went outside the convent much anyway. I know where everything is here, even if it's changed over the years. Sister Gertrude has already planned to stay too. The garden always needs tending, and 2 hands make light work. Besides, I can't leave Mousefanger behind. Of course, she is truly the Queen of Kershaw. Has the convent changed very much since the Poor Clares, am I right? Yes, the food is simpler and some of the prayers are different, but all the chores and gardening are the same. Gertrude misses making ink for the scriptorium, but I've enjoyed learning the sisters' new customs. Speaking of which, I should probably return to my chores. Of course, sister. Apologies for interrupting. Not at all, Magdalena. God bless you. How many stayed behind? It looks like Gertrude and Margareta, right? God bless you, Magdalena. Oh, they don't even grow herbs anymore. And it's the son of Max Finger. And with the kitten. Look at the kitten. It's so cutie. Oh, look at it, so cutie. None? Oh, wow. They're wild raider. Look at this. They don't even grow any herbs anymore, huh? That's a little bit of a bummer. Kitten. All right, well, let's do this. Oh, we can't go in. Oh, it's closed. Wow. It burned down. It's still burned, y'all. Wow. The roof was burnt, Red Banshee. You're right. Wow, this is something. It's kind of a downer, dude. I love watching the violets bloom every year. They match the purple of the mountains. I should try making an ink from their flowers someday. Yeah, they used to do that. Uh-oh, there's the kid, Killian. Huh. What does that mean? Huh. There's Hannah. Good morning, Magdalena. Her husband's not here. Oh, there he is upstairs. I mean, at least the hand didn't burn down. I guess they got the hand back. Nico, how's that family life, Magdalena? All right. Who's gonna kill? That was the purple ink for the last act, too. Yep. I don't know what that means. Huh. It was huh. Let's see. We went in there. We went up there. Let's go to the farms. Is the priest still here? I don't know. He wasn't in the... Oh, it's Brigitte. Everybody's old now. Hello, Magdalena. Why does everybody sound like they're super old? It's fine. Martin. Possible murderer Martin. Magdalena. Everybody's just a little bit older. We're the kids. She's dead. There's no way she's still alive, right? Empty house. Ottilia is dead. Oh, wow, this is wild. Possible murderer, fake Martin, yeah. Jutta. Hey, Magdalena. Hey, girl! Simon. Those are the kids? Hey, Magdalena. Hey, Hans. Hello, Magdalena. Hello, Hans. What? Huh? Did you need something? Kraft hasn't bothered you again, has he? Or got it in some trouble? Oh, Kraft. No, he's been fine, mostly. Good. That boy's a thorn in my boot. He's lazy, arrogant, and doesn't care for his family. He'll be shamed to the power name one day. I avoid sticking my nose into people's affairs, but Martin... Anyway, didn't want to complain. Until later, Magdalena. Until then. So Martin's kid is an a-hole? Okay. Let's see. Oh, Magdalena. This guy is living forever. Ill Peter has been ill for 55 years. All right, let's go in here. Oh, look, everybody's here, just old. Hello, Magdalena. Guys, time will go by. If somebody just jumped 20 years in the future, we'll all be just old. Oh. Okay. More like Skill Peter. I know, weird, this is wild that he's still alive. Putting the ill and unkillable. Nice one. Uh-oh. Martha? Hey, Magda. Morning, Magdalena. Who these? Matilda? These are new people, right? Oh, no, what's love? Oh! God bless you, Magdalena. Wasn't he a brother? And Matilda, God bless you, Magdalena. Wasn't he a brother? Artemis? Who's Artemis? Good morning, Magdalena. Hello, Magdalena. Ursula? Wasn't that a cute little kid before? Hello, Magdalena. Okay, cool. Church and the Druckers. Isn't this my house? This is my house. He was a brother and she was a sister. Yes! Hello, Magdalena. Hello, Maga. Hi, Maga! Hello, Christina. What are you doing today? Happy Mama! It's right, you're pretty. Hey, oh, thank you, Christina. You're pretty too. Utz is into me. Hee. Thank you. Don't tell, it's a I definitely won't. Ha ha! You're funny, Magda! Ooh, okay, Oots. Little Oots is into me. Hey, Raiders, thank you so much for the raid. Atomic Mari. Hi, Mari. Long time. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. I have not seen you guys in quite a long time. Raid, raid, raid. Yeehaw, Bitey, thank you so much. We're playing Pentiment, which is, and we're in the third act, so if you don't want spoilers about where people end up, get out. Good morning, Mistress Doctrine. Sending all the love. Thank you, Atomic Mari. I hope you're doing well. It's been a really, really long time. Kamishada says, I have 3 beef enchiladas without a home. Would you like them? No, I already ate again. Oots! Hey again, Mags. Are you serious? I told you just not to call me that. And what are you doing out here? Don't you have better things to do? What business is that of yours? Not me. All my work's done, Mags. Let you care. It's not like you got some important work to do. Oh. Okay, I'm a tinker. Maintains and tinkers with the present type. I could do anything household or animal work. And I could do accounting. Ugh. Chippy Sea Guy. Oh, that's awesome. Good for you, man. I definitely want to SEO drops. Do I play Magic the Gathering? I haven't done it in a while, but yeah, I used to be super into it. I created a show over at Geek and Sundry called Spell Slingers because I love Magic so much and I wanted to make it easy for people to play it. I kind of just wanted to be a tinker. I don't want to do domestic, even though that feels like prejudice because domestic work is awesome. Definitely I do a month of it in my life. Bookkeeper sounds like it could come in handy to solve a murder. What do you think, y'all? Yeah, a lot more useful than lawyer. That was so not useful. I think being a doctor would have been. Hasty call. I want to be a tinker. I'm going to do it. There we go. I keep the press running for my dad, and I work with Baltus and his inventions. Oh, that guy. I love it. That seems a little more important than standing around the commons in the middle of the day. Baltus' inventions are stupid. Doesn't seem like something a girl should be involved with if you ask me. Right, no one did. Calm down, Mags. You're gonna get expulsions. Too late to worry about that. She's already has a reputation. Oh. Barbs? Stinging? No, I'm not going to be a flirt. Strong negotiator? Oh, I want to be a snoop. I want to be a snoop, you guys. Or barbs. Should I be just like a total B? I do like the money, yeah. The money would be cool. I really like snooping. You guys, okay, I'm gonna give you this. Just remember, you're gonna make me an asshole. I know you are, but let's just do this. Okay, background. Barbs, flirt, haggle. I'm gonna go with whatever you pick. Haggle, snoop. Oops. I could do whatever. I mean, listen, we're in the third act. I don't think we can mess anything up in the future, all right? This is the end. All right, you guys ready? Because it's gonna be a 1-minute poll. You gotta get on this. Ready? Go. Go. You better vote. This is up to you guys. This is up to you. I'm okay with either, honestly. Either one. I mean, I don't think that libertine or debaucher, I don't think it came in handy a lot. I mean, it was kind of funny sometimes. But Barbs sounds fun. Snoop sounds fun. The only one I wouldn't want to do is flirt because it feels like I could get in trouble that way. And that, you know. But, you know, maybe it could be fun. All good. I mean, I made Andreas a flirter. She could be a flirter. I love it. Oh, okay. Barbs and Snoop. We're really kind of pretty neck and neck here, you guys. I'm fine with either, honestly. Barbs is getting more. Snoop is still in the head. Oh, Snoop is 10 ahead. Really, very few of you actually participated, all right? It was only like 100 people, so not the most. Okay. The law never worked with us. It's true. We're doing Snoop. Someone needs to keep an eye on the creeps in this town, Kraft. Yeah. Otherwise, who would know you hide behind the gardener's chicken coop and spy on Artemis when she's watching? What? I wasn't. Huh? Is that true? No! Oh my God. All right, we got it. Lay off. Did you get those things your dad wanted? Oh, that's right. No, not yet. Hopefully I could just drop them off and stop reading for the day. Hey, Moldyport. Reading? What book is so important that you need to get back to? Oh, I can read a lot of languages. Oh, I have a lot of scatological stories, Volksbücher. And, okay. All right, you guys. I'm going to give this one to you, too, because all of these sound great. All right. Background. All right, ready? Polyglot, Volksbücher, or Reformation. All right, here we go. Boom. 1 minute. 1 minute, y'all. 1 minute. Uno minuto. Uno minuto. Volksbücher. Volksbücher. Magdalena gets traits from the book that Andreas gave her. Oh, well, the one that we got, the book that we got was, we gave her the printmaking, how to become a printmaker. So maybe, you know, that kind of actually plays into us becoming a tinker. Volksbücher is familiar with popular common books of the day, assorted trivia, almanacs, common knowledge, and scatological stories, because Germans love their poop jokes. Polyglot. Polyglot is winning, although Volksbücher, very few people want to debate Reformation philosophy, okay? I'm surprised. Super surprised. We got a lot of polyglot people. Volksbücher. I mean, she's not going to be able to tell a poop story, but polyglot is very interesting. Dice Barista only wants to pick the Reformation because I'm a Lutheran. Okay. All right, polyglot it is. You guys picked it. Listen, I gave it to you. I was pretty apathetic. Don Florice de Nequia. Don what? Florice, like flower. It's a knightly romance written in Castilian. Such a beautiful language. Who speaks that? People from Castile. Never heard of it. Right, sounds made up. I thought you read all kinds of old books. Well, I think it's worth preserving any of the manuscripts we come across. It's a shame what happened to the library at Kearsall. We lost centuries in one night. If we could keep some of the past alive, we should. Sounds like a lot of work. Right, no thanks, haha. Wait, Utz, aren't you supposed to be at the Rathaus too? You're on the council. Sure, but it's pointless without your dad's plans. Hurry up and get them. I'll see you there. Utz. So Utz is... All right. Craft. Hey, Mag. Hey, Mag. Let's see. This is Lucky's house, right? It's not a restart. It's the third act. Good morning, Magdalene. Well, maybe Lucky died. Who knows? We don't know who's alive. All the new people. Listen, this is life. Young people grow up. They take over. They're the adults. They have children. Their children take over. Dad always brought anise cakes from Gret to help soothe my stomach when I was ill. All right, well, let's go to the bakery. Hello, hello, guten Tag. Bless you, Magdalena. Nope, that's it else. Okay, I don't know. A lot of dudes are dead, maybe. We're in Act 3 of the game. We're just doing our initial roundabout, and then we're gonna go to the Rathaus. Oh, look, that got built. Good day, Mistress Drukerin. Drukerin. It's the Rathaus. The Rathaus is the biggest building in Tassing. Balthus's clock took ages to build in place. I need to go to my dad's house. Let's go back to my dad's house and then we'll go... need to go to my dad's house. Where? This is my house. This is it. Let's go here first. Daddy! Daddy! I'm not going to sleep. Where does my dad sleep? I don't know. Oh, he sleeps upstairs. Oh, okay. I got to go to the upper house. Look at that. Cool. Hello, Christine Kirby. Long time no see. Daddy! Father! Okay, he's not here. Cool that we have an upstairs, though. Where'd my dad go? Let's see. Walker House. Okay. Outer Tassing. Kershaw Abbey. It's all burned. It's all burned, you guys. Oh my God, it's so depressing. Journal. Utz said my dad was looking for a man to grab the mural plans for the workshop at the house and then head to the Rathaus. They should be sitting on the workbench near the printing press. Okay, we'll see. Look. Tinker, bibliophilia. Okay, she's an avid reader and understands a strong academic. She has a strong academic understanding of bookmaking, organization, and preservation techniques. She's a tinkerer. She sneaks around, and she can't speak any four other language, but she can read a little bit of most of them. All right, look at that. So where are the plans? Here they are. Hey, Lord Kukaro. Ah, the Rathaus mural sketches. I think this is what my dad wants. I think these are all the plans. What is this part of the plan? Stop? Dude, who is this person with the... Who is it? Huh. This isn't that handwriting. I can actually kind of read it. What an odd color. We don't have ink like this here. At least I don't think we do. Well, whatever. I'll bring it just in case. All right, I better get these over to the Rathaus. Dude! Dude! Who is this person? Well, it's somebody old. Maybe it's that monk. I don't know. How are they still alive? Well, there's a lot of older people here, you know. Let's go up here, and then we'll go to Gertrude. Yeah, maybe, because she knows how to make the... Oh, wow. This is some sass. Bill Peter. Fake Martin. No, Fake Martin was not here before in the first act, though. Gnazu. Ciao, Magdalena. Ciao. Magdalena. Yes?
And the cinnamon I added to the beer is perfect.
You're making beer?
Well, yes. The copper pots you helped me pipe are part of the process.
Oh,
It's for the Christmas celebration.
Oh, I suppose you don't have much time left.
Quite right. The wheel of time stops for no man.
I love how it just corrects.
But it's going to be wonderful. Cinnamon, coffee from Ethiopia, cacao from the New World.
C'ha Gesù Cristo. C'è danaro faceturi. Jesus Christ, he was the money could do everything.
Problem?
Of course not. It's your money.
Anyway, I'm quite excited about that.
Clearly.
Such alchemy is not normally my strong suit. And as for all of Nazu's complaints about the cost, the base rye we're using is free.
Really?
Yes. The farmers had so much rye this year they couldn't use it all. Grace made as much bread with it as she could, but she wound up having to throw a lot out. So why not make beer?
Yes, why not?
Thank you.
I'm supportive. I'm a supportive friend. Baltus's workshop. I wonder if I could do another lesson soon.
If it isn't Mistress Magdalena.
Hello, Baltzar. Hello, How are your inventors coming, Baltus?
Oh, very well, thank you. I was just showing Gnaziu how our Rathaus clock works on one of my smaller prototypes.
It is a fascinating process, truly, if I had never considered that one man should make something so complex by himself. I'd love to create something so intricate one day. Maybe a new kind of printing press?
And what kind of printing press would that be, pray tell?
Maybe something with automatically sorted type. That would make the process faster.
Ha! You may be onto something there, Magda.
Can you imagine automatic type? Truly an ingenious idea if anyone could make it happen. The ideas are still funny, but I think I can make it work someday. Well, I should look forward to your debut, mistress. Now he's Transylvanian. In the meantime, shall we get back to work, Bartas?
Oh, yeah, sure. Please excuse us, Magdalene. We're rather busy at the moment, yes.
Until later, then.
Men doing bad things.
Okay. All right, I think it's time to go to the Rathaus. Now, who's going to get moided? I just want to know who is still around doing the purple ink. Who is still around doing purple ink? I want to suck your blood. He's an Italian vampire. It's fine. Carl, what's Carl doing? Yep. Okay, good.
Sir, I don't understand how we're still arguing about this. The morals should be to depict the truth. What we know is the truth. I don't think it's so simple, Klaus. Are you afraid of angering our Lord, Father Thomas? I think Father Thomas means the truth is not so easily agreed upon. I don't know. I'm tired of arguing. I just wanted to look nice and show what happened. Ah, Magdalene, I thank you for bringing this. Maybe illustrations will succeed where talking has failed. I'm done arguing with them. I'll see you at home for supper. Oh, it's all right, Magdalena. We don't need to see the drawings. It's not that we don't understand what you're trying to do. I didn't realize we had such him so much.
Sounds like things get worse after I left. Well, we've been arguing about this for almost 2 hours.
Well, the good it is that he hasn't budged. What's the point of talking if you can't make any progress? Magdalena, could you speak to your father and help him see the things from our point of view?
Father Thomas, I don't even know what you're arguing about. What is your point of view?
Klaus has strong, very strong opinions on how the history of tossing of Klaus or Alice should be portrayed. And those portrayals may upset some of our neighbors.
Isn't the real concern that's gonna upset the Lord? He looks so tired. Isn't everyone really worried about him coming here someday and seeing the revolt memorialized on the wall?
You keep saying that we all disagree with him. I don't think I do, not entirely.
Well, what do you think, Lorg?
I know I'm not the smartest man in the room, but I know what happened to my own dad. I know what he did. It doesn't feel right to ignore what happened to him, what happened to Otto.
Look, you're my dad. I never had the chance. I don't want to make people in this town angry. I don't want to make our Lord angry. None of us do, but maybe there's a way to tell the story in a way that's true without upsetting anyone.
So it's all very complicated, you see, Magdalena. Try to get him to consider a portrayal of our history that's a little less inflammatory.
I don't think it's as complicated as you all think.
We need to come to agreement or I'll call off the mural entirely.
He's been wanting to paint this mural for years. You can't tell him no all of a sudden. Then help us, Magdalena. Your father will listen to you. I won't promise anything, though. He's already hard enough convinced. Fine, only so he can paint it, not on account of your bickering like children. Now I'm going back home. This mess has already taken up much of my day already. I'm making her just a sassy lady. Oh, look! They're going by the clock now. Oh, this is fascinating, isn't it? Hello, Father.
Magdalena, thank you for bringing the drawings to the Rathaus. I'm sorry, it was a waste of time. These men don't want to know what they want. They don't know what they want. When I tell them what I'm trying to do, they get scared. Then they talk and talk and talk. They talk all day, and we're never getting closer to a decision. I'm sick of it. Sick of the old thing.
Dad, I'm worried about you.
I know, I appreciate the concern. I suppose I haven't been that upset about something in a while. I'll get through it. I just need time.
Why is it bothering you so much?
We all hear the stories about what this place was, how it came to be. And it feels like history is something that happened before, happened to other people. But 18 years ago, we lived through something. You and I, everyone in passing. Everyone wants to forget about it, pretend it didn't happen.
This act is much easier on the ears with Andreas gone. Kimmy Jams!
You don't. No, I don't. All those years ago, I did nothing. I was worried for you, worried for Benjamin and Rachel and Esther. I was so afraid that I'd lose you. I wouldn't have been able to bear it. In the end, so many people died anyway. Peter, Ulrich, Andreas, and all of the others. Oh, and we lived. Dad, everyone says it wouldn't have made much any difference. If you and the others had fought, you would have died. I would have died. Maybe I could have stopped him from going to the mill. Or maybe we could have stopped the peasants from burning it down. But we'll never know. This is what it's about, this mural? It's a chance to put something down in a place where everyone could see. If people start to forget, this will remind them. We were here. This happened. If I don't do it, who will? Don't let it get you. Too late. Well, I'm sorry, Dad. Thank you. All the arguing has left me beat. I'm going to bed early. My dad's gonna die, isn't he? All right, I'm going to stay up a bit and write a letter to Esther.
Esther's the little girl who got born, right?
Good. Please say hello to her for me. And her parents, I know that. Good night, Magdalena. I love you. I love you too.
He's gonna die. He's gonna die, you guys. Purple ink is gonna kill him.
All this running around has left me tired too. It would be nice to sit at my desk and just write for a while.
Here we go.
Dear Diary. All right, where to begin? Friar Tassing took me in his arms and bent me. Oh, good. I should write to Esther. Dearest Esther, I hope you are well. Dad sends his regard to your parents like usual. I've spent the last few days collecting oak galls with Sister Gertrude. Hello, everybody. I don't suppose you had the chance to do that in Prague.
It's the imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire. The city's mint made it a hub for German and Italian bakers and merchants, and its university became a gathering place for many Reformation thinkers.
Sister Gertrude has been teaching me how to grind them into a smooth ink.
Do you think Gertrude was the one making purple ink because she knows how to make a lot of ink?
It's difficult work, but you'll find no better ink anywhere in Bavaria. I'll send along a bottle with this letter. Be sure to store it out of sunlight or else the color will change. I know about books. Oh, did I mention Dad started a new project? He's painting a mural of Tassing's history in our new Rathaus to memorize the revolt. The whole thing made me thinking about my own family history, past and present and future. I don't think I want to stay in Tassing forever. It's a quaint place to grow up, but I'm 20 now.
Hell yeah.
Dad says I should take over the shop, but I want to do more with my life. Not just take over a print shop in some tiny town in the Alps. If I married a master printer, then I could become part of the Printers Guild. Then I'd be able to send Dad my extra earnings and make a name for myself in one of the cities. And yes, before you break the nib off your pen, I will visit you in Prague, I promise. I'll try to make time to visit before winter. Life has been bustling here. Dad has been busy with the Rathaus mural, so I've taken over in the workshop. I'm sure it'll be a sight to behold once it's finished. Write back to me soon. All my love, Magda. Okie-dokie-dokie-dokie-do.
Doesn't the heroine usually sing this? October the 22nd. What a cool.
I did it. I wrote to my friend Esther. Now I'm going to go night-night. Go to sleep. Nighty-night.
Wow, it's really creaky. I bet the houses were pretty creaky back then, huh? I mean, it wasn't like a print shop would have the best construction. I don't know. You always think like, oh, people in the past didn't live with anything, and then of course, if you went back there, you'd be like, oh, it was pretty okay.
Ah! Ah, Dad! Dad! Oh, Magdalena! Dad! Hang on, I'm coming!
Oh my God!
Dad! Magdalena! What happened? You're all right? You're bleeding! Someone came into the house. They hit me over the head. I'll go get Dr. Stotz. Try not to move, Dad. Magdalena, it's not safe. Whoever attacked me. is too deep for me to take care of on my own. We need Dr. Stoltz. Magdalena, be careful. I will. I'll be back, I promise.
Where's Dr. Stoltz? Oh my God!
Do you know why anyone would want to attack you, Klaus? No, maybe someone didn't like one of the books I sold them.
Are you sure you didn't see a shadow and hit your head in the printing press?
Come on, Jorg, you saw the workshop. Somebody was looking for something.
Burglar attacking, that's preposterous.
Well, if it wasn't an attack, what was it? Enough! It was deliberate blow to the head, unless any of you wish to debate my diagnosis. Now,
No.
as I thought. Thankfully, Klaus, I'm surprised the blow didn't kill you. You have a strong skull. It's a grave injury, Magdalena. You'll need to take care of your father. I will, whatever I need to do. Good. Of course, the mural will have to be called off now. Klaus, you absolutely cannot get out of bed. No, it has to be done. It is too important. Just give me some time to rest. I'll find a way to make it work.
I don't think we need to cancel the entire project. Can't we just wait?
Klaus, your health comes first. Anyway, we haven't been able to agree on what the mural should be.
But it must be best to abandon their dire idea.
With respect, Father Thomas, you are not on the council.
Yes, I'm just offering opinion.
I can paint the mural. What? Mags, quit joking around.
Well, I know you want to help your dad, but aren't you too young for something like this big?
I'm old enough to run the print shop by myself, and Dad trusts me to illustrate the books. Isn't that enough?
Hey, Red Queen Wanda.
Painting a mural this large and complicated will take a lot of skill and expertise.
So
that's why we were gonna have your dad make it. He's been making art forever.
I agree, Paul. Klaus needs home care. You're best suited for that, Magdalena, not a mural. What is that supposed to mean?
Well, are you sure you're up for it? Physically, I mean?
Ah, it's quite demanding. You'd be up on the scaffolding and could fall. Are you not listening to me? I've been doing this work for years. I know what it takes. Dad knows what it takes. Do you? I could do it, Dad. If you don't trust Magdalena to do the mural, to hell with the lot of you. Typical. Klaus! If you don't trust her, you don't trust me. I'll never work for any others. I'll do any work for this council again. All right, I say we let her.
It doesn't look like we have much of a choice.
Very well. I think Werner did it. Werner did it.
All right, Magdalena, you could do it. But you still need to talk with us about what you're doing, all right?
Fine, but I'm thinking, of course. Fine, but I'm taking Dad's ideas into account. Well, we'll figure it out.
Thanks, Magdalena. Rest up, Klaus. I'll do my best, York.
Yeah, it's, this guy I think did it. Magdalena, just a moment. Yes, what is it? Your father is lucid right now, but his injury is severe. His current demeanor is misleading. What are you saying? Magdalena, there is damage to his brain. He may have a few weeks, maybe even a few months left. But he's not going to survive. Can't we take him to see a surgeon? No, he can't be moved in this condition. In fact, he shouldn't move at all. Even if he could, I don't think even the finest Italian surgeons would know how to deal with a trauma like this. So he's just going to die? And there's nothing I can do about it? You can make him comfortable, and you can even enjoy the time you have left. But time will run out before long. This is a downer, y'all. I could hear you. I might have a head injury, but I can't hear. My ears still work. My ears still work. Dad needs to be able to see the murals in its final form. I don't know how much time he has left. Werner said it could be a few months, or... I think Werner did it. God protect him. I'll pick up where Dad left off. He wanted to paint the history of Tassing from its earliest days to the revolt. I'll start with the earliest part of Tassing's history, the pagan tribes and the Romans. Then I'll move on to the founding of the Abbey and Tassing's saints. After that, I should find a way to represent our recent history. Depicting the revolt is important to Dad. People in Tassing might know of some of his town's history, but not all of it. Dad said the library in Kershaw had those records. He is going to write to the last prioress to see if she had any information. I should write to her now, while I'm thinking about it.
This is not okay.
All right, where to begin? Dad told me the last prioress at Kershaw knew something about the old history of Tassing. He said she became the abbess of a convent in Bologna, Mother Innumerata. Yes, it's Santa Margherita. I should write to her.
It's in Genoa. All right.
Dear Alumi,
let's see. Probably prioress.
my name is Magdalena Drucker.
I'm going to be personal.
You were acquainted with my father. He bought many books for the library before the terrible fire consumed the place. I am writing because my father and I are creating a mural in the Tassing Rathaus. I'm going to tell the history of our community of Kershaw as well. We only have legends and folklore since, of course, all of Kershaw's books were destroyed in the fire. I was hoping you could tell us something about the early history of the town when the Romans were here. If you know anything about the early history of the abbey itself, we would also be glad to hear of it. We would appreciate any help you could give us and hope you are well.
Oh, I'm not going to do personal.
My father always spoke highly of you, especially how you cared for the library and its books.
Yeah, books. Yeah, that's it.
God bless you. Magdalena.
Yeah. Oh, wow. What's going on, you guys?
I want to finish the mural, but for Christmas I should plan it now. I should head to bed and get as much rest as I can.
All right, well, I'll go sleepy.
It's late. I should get some rest soon.
Well, wait a minute. I'm going to investigate. Do we have any evidence here? Nothing? Nothing at all. I mean, there's no...
Hey, Dad, you up? Oh, Magdalena. Hey, Dad, how are you feeling? Can I get you anything?
No, I'm fine. You go on.
All right, I'll come back and check on you later. I'll check on you in a couple...
Nothing? We don't have any DNA swabs we could do? Enhancing? All right, I'm going out. I don't trust anybody here. Oh, I can't go out. Okay, they're making me go to sleep. I was gonna go like knock on some doors. They were looking for the mural plants for sure. I would lock the door, girl. I would lock the door. Get under the covers. Don't be sleeping like that with your naked feet. Who does that? Who doesn't cover their feet up when they sleep? That's wild, okay? I've never slept with my feet naked on the covers, ever. Is that weird? Wait. Oh, wow, we did a big chime jump. Ah, Mistress Dustgren, we have a few letters here addressed to you. A maniac, thank you. I'm just like, I couldn't do it. Thank you, Ina. Take care now.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, I like your peacock color. I love that peacock color.
Mother Illuminata writes back to me. I hope a response helps me paint the mural. Hey, what's up? Mistress Struckram, thank you for your letter. I hope this helps you find you and your father in good health. I remember you both, as your father would carry you between the rows of our library in its final years. I also remember your late mother and brother, God keep their souls. Well, we did have some books that discussed Tassing's past. It's likely they were as mythological as what your neighbors believe. That said, I remember one of the peasants, Tilmy Kreutzer, read about the history of the town. I know he died during the revolt, but perhaps his family knows of some of what he learned. I should also say it's not true that all of Kelster's books were destroyed by the fire. Andreas Mahler managed to save some from the flames, God rest his soul. In the aftermath of the terrible night, cataloging and preserving the surviving books was not at the top of any of our minds. Even
so, this topic has stirred a memory within me. Several years before the fire, there was a death at Castle, the murder of Baron Rosfeldgrup. He had mentioned something about finding a copy of Historia Tacitae, a comprehensive chronicle of your home. I had forgotten about it until now because the murder dominated all of our thoughts in the days and weeks that followed. It troubles me now because I recalled that the late Father Matthias was also releasing a copy of the Historia Tacitae shortly before he died. We never accounted for either book's whereabouts. They may have been hidden somewhere in the library and went up with everything else. Perhaps Prior Fenwick took it from the Baron after the murder. Fenwick has an interest in books of all sorts, of course, but it seemed an odd thing to do in the moment. Then again, only God knows what he did and why he did it. Miklaus Heberle, the Baron's servant, believed it might have been stolen by the town thief, Martin Bauer. If Martin is still alive, I would ask him where he knows where the book is. Hopefully he didn't trade it for a mug of beer on his way out of Dowsing. If the man had passed from this world, perhaps his family knows where the book might wind up. As for the history of the Abbey, I fear that was also lost in the blaze. However, in Sacrosanct, Prior Matthew learned a great deal about the subject. I have not kept in contact with him, but I know he is now in the Archdeacon of Schön. Sion, he is no longer a Benedictine, but uses his family name. Faustini Soaks. If you write to him soon, your letter may reach him before the snow covers Valais. Please convey my best wishes to your father, who was a good friend of the Abbey in its better years. Despite the violence that occurred, I have no ill will toward anyone from Tarsen. I pray that you have seen better days since that night, and that God forgives the many errors we made. God bless you as well. Mother Illuminata, Abbess of Saint Margarita. Hey, what's up, Beep Beep? Wow, that's a long... Thanks, Embassy to Gate Temple. 32 months. Oh, Esther wrote me as well. Sup, girl, my dear Magda. Oh, my parents were glad to hear from you from my family and father. Please tell them as they wish to hear from it soon. Speaking of printing, your ink was well received indeed. I've made several prints with it. They look lovely on the wall. Alicia has been making her own ink from scraps he found around the house after he saw yours. Mother was furious when he spent several pfennigs trying to find lapis at the market. She said him grubbing the floors for it. Took him 3 days. Oh my God. I'm glad you're keeping busy, even though it keeps you from visiting. Father says we'll have room whenever you decide to make an appearance. Though really, if you don't plan to stay in Tassing, you ought to come sooner than later. There are plenty of beautiful young Christian men around town, printers and academics alike, wink wink. Or maybe something else, you'd have your pick. Like, oh my God, Prague is a good city for me as well. Before the explosion, there was a handsome man at Singadong, Seamoon, who caught my eye. His father's a merchant, and he's a doctor. He went to the University of Padua. Can you believe it? I'd quite like to marry him if I could find him again. Anyway, I think he'd have better luck than me. The boys would swim in a beautiful blonde artist from the Alps. Please keep us abreast of your father's mural. We'll have to come see it when it's finished. Blessings. S. Wow. I'll have to write Esther back tonight. I should head home and check on Dad. Hey, Dad, how are you feeling?
Oh, Magdalena. Sitting upright is still a struggle, I'm afraid. The dizziness makes my stomach turn, so I'd rather not eat at the moment.
Are you sure I could pick up something light like milk or broth?
No, I can't stomach anything yet. But tell me, where are you off to?
I need to get started on the first part of the meal today, the old history. Mother Illuminata didn't know much about Tassing's early history. She gave me a few places to start. I'm going to ask Black Till. I don't know where he is. His grandfather told many stories. Illuminata said he used to read about the Romans.
Mother Illuminata, Magdalena.
Right, yes, Mother Illuminata.
Young Kreutzer has mentioned those tales from time to time. Yes, he comes by to borrow books now and then. Usually he's found something interesting. Old ruin out in the field. You might ask him about that. Il Peter's always harped about how no one paid attention to the old ways anymore. I'm sure he'll have some stories to tell him about Tassing. You could stop to talk to him.
Oh, yes. I didn't think of that. Thank you, Dad.
Of course, Magda. It's nice to feel useful, even I'm stuck in bed.
Nonsense. I'm glad you're awake.
You might talk to Smokey, too. The old charcoal burner seems to know more about what's in the woods than around anywhere else, and that he's a known gossip.
Oh, I know. He told me that he saw Artemis and Kraft swimming together in the pond just last week.
Oh, Lord, I can't imagine the fit Veronica would have if she knew.
Oh, well, I'm not going to tell.
I trust the spirit to convict them, since I cannot. Well, Smokey may know who else you should talk to then. You may hear something worth your while at any rate.
I'll go talk to him. What about the ruins of the mines? I can't just use books and stories alone. I want to explore whatever's left over from the Romans and before. The salt mine and the Roman ruins are the oldest parcels of Tassing, so it makes sense to see what they left behind.
Oh, you take after your mother. She was always thorough in her research.
You always say that's what's good us to do, Dad.
Be careful, all right? I know the twins mess around near the salt mine, but I don't want you getting hurt. I don't know why Jörg doesn't keep them in line, always making trouble, those two.
Don't worry about me, Dad. I'll be careful.
Good, I still need you to run the press for a little longer after all. Don't forget your other chores while you're running around the town, all right? We still have a household to run.
Don't worry. I'll get everything done.
That's my girl.
I better get going if I were to do all of that today. I'll see you later, Dad.
Wow, we got a lot to do. Okay. Okay, listen, this is a lot to do, okay? Let's go see Smokey. Okay, let's do Smokey first. All right. Oh, hey, what's up, Nico?
Nico, what's up?
Hello, Magdalena.
Nico, what are you doing out here?
Biding my time, contemplating life.
In the forest? At this cold time of year?
I like the calm and the chill makes me feel lively. I'm not looking forward to returning to the end either.
Because of all the arguments you have with your wife? Why's that?
You don't know, everyone in town's been whispering about us for years. Lately, Hannah and I fight more days than not. So I walk in the woods to clear my head.
What happened between you two?
We lied to each other. Festered resentment grew apart. It's a tale as old as matrimony.
Surely it's not so bad. Truth be told, I'm not expecting much from it.
Maybe you young folk are smarter than we were at your age. We were in love once, I think. It's been so long I hardly remember. Well, I was in love. I would have suffered any slight for her, even that fucking at least Lenhart died in the revolt, but that didn't stop Hannah from disgracing our marriage. I swallowed my pride and let it go on because I thought it would make me happy, her happy. But I shouldn't talk to you about this. You caught me in a weak moment, Magdalena.
Maybe it's not appropriate, but I'm listening anyway.
Kind of you. Perhaps if it were a better man, Hannah would still love me. We're too old to change now. She's too stubborn. I'm too weak. It's pointless.
You and Hannah made to raise a kind man in Killian.
Killian's a good boy, a diligent son. He deserved a better father. I failed him too.
Now you're just feeling sorry for yourself.
You would be sorry too if you were me. Oh boy, the sad sack. Sorry I burdened you with this. Please don't tell your father. Stare ominously?
Don't worry, I won't.
Sometimes we have to keep things from our family. But it's bad for the soul, isn't it, lying?
Go home, Nico.
Very well. Until later, Magdalena.
Until then.
Wow. I know. Marriage. What can you do?
Smokey!
Oh. Hello. Is there something I could do for you? Knives need sharpening.
I'm not sure, sir. I'm Magdalena Drucker. I live in town.
I'm Voxlov. Smokey lets me share the space with him sometimes. I'm a tinker, travel around and help people out with sharpening knives, little things like that. Drucker, are you a printer's daughter?
I am. My father and I are both printers.
Do you sample the wares much?
Yes, as often as I can.
Voxlov, don't. You're going to get in trouble again.
Trouble for me?
No, not you, Mr. Strachrin. This one can't help but talk to people about all of the strange things he believes. He reads all sorts of books, talks odd folk, gets ideas brewing in his head. Now that doesn't bother old Smokey none. It bothers some other people a whole lot.
Who?
Priests, some people with limited imaginations. Inquisitors. Inquisitors. No need to overstate the dangers, too, inquisitors.
No, I want to know what happened.
A long time ago, I got into an argument with some people in town. They told Father Thomas. To his credit, he told them to let it go, but somehow an inquisitor found out. Anyways, I had to leave for a while.
So books? Strange ideas?
Yes, the host, the Eucharist, the bread and the wine, the body and the blood of Christ.
Holy Communion? What about it?
More and more people are writing about rejecting transubstantiation. The idea that the bread and the wine of the Eucharist literally becomes the body and body and blood of Christ. Here we go.
Yes?
Well, there are two ways to look at it. The first is on the grounds that Wycliffe and Hus rejected it. With our eyes or senses, there is nothing perceptible that changes in the character of the bread and the wine.
Must our senses necessarily encompass all of God's miracles for them to be real?
No, not at all, but for what reason he placed them outside the compass of our understanding.
That's an act of faith. Blessed are those who believe but have not been seen.
But if that's the case, of what importance is the material composition of the host? Even if the bread and the wine turn to Christ's body and blood, why is that necessary for spiritual communion? We are bound by flesh, attempting to unite with the light of God through our Eucharist, the act, the observance. Unites our will with that of Christ. He is present in us through the remembrance, not the physical act.
So what does that matter? You're saying we shouldn't take communion?
Oh boy, they don't like it. No, there's nothing wrong with taking communion as a rite or an act, but if you accept what I'm saying, there are other things I'd like to discuss. I'm not listening to any of this. Are you ready to hear why it's important to disbelieve in transubstantiation? Is he gonna take...
Yes, I'm sure this is leading somewhere good.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic, but all right. This all starts with Lucifer creating the world.
Excuse me?
God was the Word, and the Word was truth, and the truth is light, and the light is God's will. God's light contained aspects which we consider angels, facets of his infinite intelligence. One of these aspects separated it from his intellect, and manifested in the darkness of the corruptible Lucifer. One of the darkness? To exist outside of the boundaries of infinite light. The corrupt will be brought of being into infinite darkness. Yes, you know, blah, blah, blah. Within that darkness, Lucifer cast his false light, a corrupted interpretation of the divine intellect to cheat the world. All material in our world is inherently corrupted, manifestation of that false light.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that I read Earth. Is that a Cathar? Those are the dudes in southwestern France that completely got massacred by the church, right? I don't know a lot about, like, what Greek Orthodox believes versus Russian Orthodox versus, you know, Catholic versus Roman Catholic versus, I don't really know that. Gnosticism. We still have a connection to God through our intellect, but it is flawed by existing in our physical bodies. So was Jesus flawed for being a man, even though he was born of a virgin? But you still believe we could be redeemed through Christ, right? So Genesis is wrong? There are many stories of creation, many versions even of Genesis. Why is it you believe yours is the correct one? You believe the one your church has given you. Maybe if you were given another, you would have believed that instead. But you still believe we can be redeemed through Christ, right? We're living in a simulation, brah.
Finally, some sense. But not in the way that you think. Of course not.
The way to be redeemed is to reunite our will with God. How do we do that?
Regular prayer, abstention from material desire, sublimation and elimination of want. That just sounds like being a monk. No, priests and monks both are corrupt agents of the business of the church. They have taken the simplicity of holy devotion and profaned it with pageantry. The saints, too, all this talk of Moritz and Satya and miracles are just stories. The church has led people astray, put the hope of people in meaningless rituals, faith and relics.
I don't... You have some interesting ideas, Blacksoft.
I'm glad you think so. I've spent a lifetime thinking about them. Anyway, thank you for indulging me, Magdalena.
Of course.
Until later.
Okay, bye.
Damn, guy! You know how to talk it! Good day, Mistress Druckman.
I told you, Smokey, call me Magdalena.
Old habits, I suppose. What brings you to my corner of the wood? More gossip.
I wanted to know if you know anything about the old pagan and Roman mines.
The mines? Is this a new interest of yours, Magdalena? I don't see the townsfolk trick out there as much anymore. Last I saw, there were two twins making trouble. They know our way in, but I'll be damned if I ever set foot close to that place. What are you so interested in over there?
The mirrors of the rat house need a section about the earliest days of Tassing. The mines are the oldest part of Tassing, and you keep a keen ear. I thought you might have heard something.
I don't know anything about getting down in the mines, but I do know a fair few stories about them, and there are other Roman ruins about around here, the old stores. My father used to tell me was the burner of Tassing. The one about Ras and Tassia, the nymph, was always my favorite, though I blame that one on my youth.
Tassia la Tassi?
Folk named the town after a pagan god, a Roman one at that. I don't mind telling you the tale, Magdalena, but I warn you, it's a bit bawdy.
Oh, well, I need something about the Romans to paint on my mural.
I'll tell the decent bits of what I remember, but I won't have your father hounding me for any coarseness.
All right, what's the story?
Well, legends say that Mars was hunting in the woods and spied a fat boar for the taking. He just pulled back a spear when he heard a woman scream. Of course, the creature ran off, but the god was angry at the loss of his quarry. So he tramped through the woods to see why a woman was in the forest and not in the local town.
Why would a god be hunting in Tassing's forest?
How should I know? Maybe he just wanted a brisk walk. Besides, why should anything the gods do make sense? These were the old days when spirits and ghosts prowled.
What do you mean proud?
Well, you know, like spirits and other able things. Yeah, I just can't say they walked through the woods like me or you. They prowled.
All right, keep talking.
So Miles found a nymph, Tassia, bathing in a spring with a fat, ugly satyr goading her for the shore. Enraged at seeing that trapped nymph, Mars transformed into a wolf and slew the slater. And in return, well, you know, Tassia bathed the god.
I get it, they bathed.
Yeah, I did warn you, Magdalena. When Mars left the pool, he drifted onto the ground and it blossomed with flowers and crops. They say that's why this valley's so fertile.
That might be tricky to paint on a mirror. I'm not sure if the council will approve.
I doubt they would, but you're the artist, aren't you? You get to choose what the mural shows. I wouldn't let those old bastards keep you from painting what you want. So much of what the Romans left behind was destroyed over the years, but I like that we have these tales. You cannot ever destroy stories as long as there are people to tell them. Of course, the Romans left a hell of a lot behind, too. The town is more Roman than Bavarian, really.
Because how long it was a Roman colony?
Not how much of the town is built upon the Roman foundations. Tassing is actually much smaller now than it was in the Romans' days. At least that's what I make of it.
Welcome, Total Witch Vibe. Can you get a close-up of your brooch? I don't have a brooch.
Roads go deep in the forest and all the way to the old mine. Half of Tassing is built on Roman stone. Take a walk around the town, you'll start noticing things we used our stone to build. The old temple by Satia's shrine has grown over, but the aqueduct ran for miles. Even the abbey used to be an old Roman fort. You can see some of the Roman paving stones on the road if you look hard. We may not be Roman, but this town is.
Tassing has been building upon itself for hundreds of years. What a beautiful idea.
That's the way of things. Most people don't notice the old stones. Too busy in town to notice what's right in front of their eyes.
Maybe I should get a look at the mine. I'd get a better sense of what things were actually like.
Nothing will stop you, I see. Well, I won't either. Just keep away after any wolves or satyrs, you know. Ha ha ha.
I'll let you know if I see anything. Thanks for the help.
Okay, bye.
Bye, creep. Bye, creeper.
All right. Well, that's pretty good. Oh, hey, Apollo. Hey, what up?
Hey, Magdalena.
Hey, Apollo, what are you doing?
Looking for frogs. Artemis says she saw one the other day and we're trying to collect a bunch.
What do you need frogs for?
Like I'll tell you, you'll snitch.
I won't. I didn't snitch when you ruined Baltus's new clock by pouring honey in the gears.
Uh-oh. Do I do it? I have to.
Hey, how'd you know that was us?
I'm clever too, you know. Besides, who else would it be? Come on, tell me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Magdalene. I can't risk this one. Try ask Artemis.
I'd do it.
What's up? What's up?
Artemis, what's up, girl? Hey, Magdalena. Hey, Artemis. Well, says you're catching frogs. Yeah, what's it about? He told me to come here and ask you why. He wouldn't say anything. He didn't tell you? Christ, finally, he's learned to keep his mouth shut. Oh, come on, just tell me. No way, this is our biggest trick yet. We're not risking it telling you. You'll just have to wait and see.
I want to know how to get in the mines.
All right, Biatch. Yeah, they're brother and sister. They're Yord's sons. Look at this big old pig. A pig out here? Must have broke out of its pen. I wonder who it belongs to. Weird. Mugwort. Can I get down here? I can't get down here. I'm gonna hurt myself. If I want to depict the mural as accurately as possible, I have to get down the shaft myself. The entrance is so steep, no one's used it for years. There has to be some way to get down there. If I rigged a rope to the top beams, I'd be able to get down more. I saw some rope at the workshop at home. I should be able to find everything I need there. I'll have to come back later. All right. There was something to click on in the waterfall? Okay. Oh, there is. Oh no, it's just a waterfall. The waterfall's always so beautiful. Okay. I can ask them.
Oh, hey, Magdalena, what's up?
Can you show me how you and Artemis get into the salt mine?
Mine? Why? It's all gross and creepy.
I need to get down there and see what the pagans and Romans left behind. I need references for my mural.
Oh, the mural? I would ask Artemis about that. She's pretty protective of the vine.
All right, I'll find her.
Sorry, Magdalena. If she says yes, I'll show you later.
I'll see you later, Paulo.
What a dick.
Why do I have to ask him? Artemis! Artemis, girl. Oh, hey, Magdalena, do you need something? I'm a little busy right now. I need you to show me how you and Paulo get out of the salt mine.
The man?
Damn, Magda, why do you need to get down there? I want to see what our forefathers and the Romans left behind. It's for the mural. The mural? You want to use our secret hideout for your mural? I want to see if they left anything down there I could use as a reference. You're really into that whole rat house project, aren't you? Why should I show you how to get in? Please, Artemis, I won't even go again. I just need your help this once. Just like you said you'd never ask to borrow my favorite scarf again, I need a guarantee, Magda. Look, I'll show you how to get in the mine on one condition. You help Apollo and me with our next prank. No telling, no switching. No way, I'm not that stupid. Then good luck getting down there. I won't help you otherwise. I'll find another way in. Sure you will. Yeah, I will. I'll get my own. I'm not going to help you with your stupid prank. I hate them. Not talking to them. Okay? They're twats. I'm going to go to Martin Bowers. Hey, Martin Bauer. What's up, guy? What's up, Martin?
Morning, Magdalena. How's Klaus?
Enduring. Even when his speech is slurred, he keeps a cheerful heart. I don't know what life would be like without him.
Klaus is a good man, Magdalena. Tassing is a better place thanks to him. He's one of the few in Tassing who hasn't been on my back all this time.
What do you mean? I've heard a few whispers about your past. Care to elaborate?
What is there to elaborate? It's all gossip. So what if I occasionally get into a few brawls? I'm an honest man. I wasn't involved with what happened to Otto Zimmerman. I supported his cause. I pulled my weight around here, tilled the soil, salted the meats, provided for Brigitte and Kraft. I've done enough break-making work for this family. Can't a man just have a goddamn rest?
I believe you, Rad. You seem like you could use a respite.
Damn right. Right, I've lost enough time as it is. Time for you to go.
I almost forgot the reason I came here. I'm trying to learn about the history of Tassing. I told you could help.
Me? What do I know about history?
Mother Illuminata told me you borrowed a book of local history from Baron Bortberger.
Mother Illuminata? Oh, you mean one of the old nuns for the convent? Sure, a book. I might have taken it back then. That was a lifetime ago. I can't remember the book or what I did with it. Those years are a blur. Probably threw it away somewhere. I left it at home. Wouldn't have been much for me to do with the book. I can't read. Too unique for me to have sold, too. No one outside of Tassing cares about its history anyway.
Maybe I should ask Brigitte if she remembers anything about it.
I don't think this is a good idea. Right? Sure, it couldn't hurt. It was decades ago, but she's the one who remembers shit.
Should I do this?
He was killed as I was leaving town. Luck, really. My God. You asked. Nobody had a reason to come looking for me after that. Had to get down to the work of finding something to pin the murder on. Probably for the best I left. God knows what would have happened to me if I'd stayed.
Very fortunate indeed.
That's how life goes sometimes, isn't it? Unpredictable. I never met the man, Magdalena, and for sure hell wouldn't have stooped to meet me. Good riddance to him and those who bear his name.
Well, thank you for your time.
Nothing else, I got work to do.
Until later, Martin.
I don't think I should out him. I felt like a dick.
I did it, but I didn't do all the gossip.
Magdalena, how are you keeping?
I'm eager to continue work on the mural. I have so much to do before Christmas.
I'm sure it will be the pride of Tassie when you're through.
You've always had your mother's talent for art. And how is your dad? You're the only one person who's asked how I'm doing before asking about my dad. I know how it's to be the sole caregiver. Your self disappears behind the needs of the person you're looking after. I worry about you carrying that weight alone. I remember when my dad fell. We cared for him as best as we could, but those few months before he passed were a tough time for everyone. But I believe God will pull your dad through, whatever the doctor says. We need him. God willing, you're right. I'm at his mercy. God willing, amen. Have you thought about what you'll do if your dad doesn't come through this? I truly don't know.
Best not to dwell on what we can't control. Your dad's fate is in God's hands. If anyone in Tassie is beloved of him, it's your father. But you're a good girl, Magda. There are any number of families in Tassie who would be happy to take you. You have someone in mind, don't you?
You must mean Oates.
He's about as subtle as father. God rest Otto's soul. I miss him.
I'd wish I'd got to meet him properly, I mean.
He made an impression, that's for certain. All the girls around town know better than to moon after him, though that didn't make stop some of us. He was Eva's from the start, as Oates appears to be yours. But if nothing ever comes of that, know that you're always welcome at my family, Magda. Kraft's a nice, hard-working boy. He's got a sharp mind. He can provide for our family.
Are you trying to set me up with your son?
Can you blame a mother for trying? You're a good, respectable girl, Magda. Any family would be lucky to have you as a daughter. Oh, wow.
I guess I'll consider it.
Thank you, sweet girl. Not every marriage starts off on solid footing, but if you pray and work and trust in the Lord, you can find it in time. Believe me, maybe your husband will disappear and a new one will come and take his place too.
If it's not working out, how can you be sure a couple belongs together?
God knows, he brings people together for a purpose. We don't need to understand it, only to have faith in providence. In any case, I should get back to the chores. Remember what I said, whatever happens, you're always welcome at my home.
Oh, before I forget, I had a question about an old book. Martin's supposed to have stolen it from that baron who was killed years ago. Do you know what happened to it?
Oh, I hope this doesn't get me into trouble, but I still have it hidden in a drawer. Martin left it behind when he ran off.
Why'd you keep it?
Well, this is easy. What was I supposed to do? The baron was killed soon after, and there I was holding a stolen book. I didn't want Martin to get in any more trouble than he was already in. I never read it, though. I don't read well.
Did you ever want to read it?
Oh, I don't know. Who has time to read? There's always something on the farm that needs tending. I need to rake out the chicken coops and bed and then down for winter.
I'd like to reference it for the mural.
But would everyone wonder where you got the ideas? I've been talking to people all over town. Don't think I got the ideas from them. All right. I'd like to have nothing more to do with it, to be frank. It reminds me of difficult times. A stolen book of a dead nobleman in our home. Perhaps it spoiled our milk and turned our egg sale these years.
I was honest and I got what I wanted.
Here you are. Please don't tell me what.
History tacite.
Oh, it's in Latin. I can understand a few words and phrases. I'll take a closer look in the evening. Thank you, Brigitta. You've been a big help. Of course, Magda. Be well now. God bless.
You too, Brigitta. Until later.
If I hadn't led her on about being my mother-in-law, you know I wouldn't have. You know it. Oh, oops. I'll come back to talk to you. All right, I'll talk to you now. Hey, Mags. Got your way with the mural, huh? I didn't expect you to convince the council like that.
I can be pretty stubborn when I want oats.
Clearly, I'm impressed. The rest of the council's been arguing over the matter for so long, I couldn't even get a word in. Then you come in and shut him up in a few minutes. We could use more women like you in the town.
There are plenty of opinionated women in town. You want us to join the council?
Well, you'd have to take that up with the Lord. Besides, I don't think any of them are as hard-headed as you. You're the exception, Magdalena. You always are. Oots. My name's Oots.
It's kind of a suggestive name, right? Oots. Clearly you've forgotten about Agnes. She doesn't suffer fools.
That's not what I meant. She's not, never mind. Forget about it. There's no raffle. Adam, get out of here. Anyway, standing up to the council like that was great. I know I'm not in the council, but sometimes it seems like I have any influence. I know I'm on the council.
Oots actually seems insecure about his place on the council. He may be an ass sometimes, but I don't like to see him upset. Maybe I should reassure him. You do, though. You vouched for me to do the mural in the first place.
Only after your dad did. I still feel bad about that. I should have stuck up for you. Being the youngest one on the council has been harder than I thought. I know Baltus and Verna didn't think I'm capable, and even Paul has warned me about being too rash. My dad died trying to make a difference in this town.
I'm not Adam. Are you giving away a gaming PC?
All I'm trying to do is carrying on his legacy, but it seems like the others won't make room for any change.
Keep pushing, Oates. They're stuck in the past, but we're looking toward the future of Tassing.
Thanks, Magdalena. Yeah, it'll take time, but maybe they'll listen to me eventually.
He's getting hotter by the second, okay?
Oh, well, back to it. See you later, Max.
All right, I need some rope. Oh, this is this guy, Black Till. Okay.
God bless you, Magdalena.
God bless you, Till. Do you have a moment?
Of course. What do you need? Oh, it says you've been obsessed with your painting.
I'm looking into the early history of Tassing for the first part of mural. Mother Illuminata said your grandfather read about the history of the town.
For the field, that is. Seemed like old pot shards and Latin trivia were all he ever talked about. All of Granddad's reading came from the Abbey's library, though, and you know what happened there. Poof up in smoke.
So you don't have any of his old books?
Only a few. Granddad tried to buy some when the Abbey fell on hard times, but they were too expensive.
Oots is adorable, yeah.
But I could show you something better than books.
There's nothing better than books.
I'm sure Granddad's nodding vigorously up in heaven.
Honestly, anything would help.
Right, so we don't have any books on the old pagans, but we do have their stuff. Shards of ceramic pots and animals, bricks from what looked like to be an old forge, mountains of salt. We're gonna eBay it later, but...
Oh, a little bear carved from amber? Where are you keeping all these things?
No, we're just tossed them into piles with the rest of the rocks and the root clumps. Sure, it's necessary. We can't do much of anything with the stuff except looked at it.
Oh my God, can you imagine how much that stuff is worth? Where'd you find all this stuff?
It's not just me. Carl finds things too. Fabian too. Any farmer would tell you the same. It's all out there in the fields under the dirt. Can't go one season without turning up something.
What do you think it all means?
I don't follow.
How do you think these people lived?
Rough, I'd say, but comfortable. We don't find much of their clothes or their houses. They must have rotted. I guess that would be that they were living in huts. But their tools are good quality. If they weren't rusted all to hell, I could probably use them today.
I don't know why, but I assumed they'd lived in caves or the muck.
But they weren't Christians, but no doubt, but they weren't animals either. I'd say they had a hard, but they got by. Not so different from today, really.
Earlier you mentioned something about salt. Did the pagans start to mine?
Had to have, I'd say. So most people think it was a Roman project, but I think the Romans just dug out what was already there. That's why Tassing was so important to the Romans in the first place. Salt.
I'd always wondered why they settled in such a small alpine town.
Do you think there's anything left of the pagans down there?
I don't know.
I don't know, but anything they left would have to be better preserved than what we dig out of the fields. Magdalena, tell me you aren't thinking of going down there.
I wonder if there's stuff that could help me with the mural.
Magdalena! That mine is hundreds of years old. You could break your neck just getting in there.
Come on, you're just as curious as I am.
Well, sure, but I imagine how your dad would feel if you got hurt.
Then help me get down safely. He won't have... Oh, I did it! He won't have to worry.
You're bullheaded, just like your mother. And your father. Probably couldn't keep you out of there if I tried. Well,
please, Tim.
All right. Don't know how to get down there myself, but I know those twins have gotten their time or two. Don't doubt they have a trick. And Baltus might not be the most reliable man, but I don't doubt he can rig something up for you, too.
Thank you, too. I promise I'll be careful.
I'm holding you to that, young lady.
This has been a big help.
Glad to spread some knowledge around. You think all this pagan stuff will make it in the bureau? I can bring some of the things the boys and I have found over to the rat house tomorrow if that'd help.
That would be great.
I'm glad you're taking an interest, Magdalena. I thought no one cared about the pagans but me and Granddad. I should warn you, if you do head into the forest, keep an eye out for the Lord's men. They're strict, worse now than they used to be.
I'll be careful until tomorrow.
Till then.
All right, well, that's exciting. What's up, Eva? You got anything to say, or are you just a woman? Hello, Eva. Magdalena, Utz isn't here, I'm afraid. Oh, that's all right. I can find him later if I need to. I think he wandered off toward the rat house. Something about the council, but if you ask me, I think he's looking for you. That's sweet of him. He has been dropping by the rat house more often than late. Hey, Macaroga, he's fond of you. I'm surprised he hasn't any time to visit, though. He's always working on town council business these days. He's working at the Master Carpentry, too. I suggested a few years ago he take up an apprenticeship, but he was determined to remain in Tassing. I think he's more comfortable here, even if that means he'll never be craftsman Otto was. I help him how I can, but there's only so much I know how to do. Besides, I think he feels like he's taking care of me, instead of the other way around. Funny how time does that. I think Dad misses Mom. If I would jump at the chance to leave Tassing if it didn't mean Dad would be left alone, I imagine Oots felt the same. Oh, I wouldn't have been alone. I have Mom and York and the rest of the family to take care of. Besides, they need me busy. Keep me busy. I'll never went for anything with Oots in the community here in Tassing. I miss my husband, but I'm proud of Oots. He's growing into a capable young man. I'm excited to see him grow into the husband and father. He'll make a wonderful partner. Whoever he marries will be a lucky woman. I kind of like Oots. It's about that time to start finding a match, too. It's wonderful that God blessed Endress with a wife at last, but I'd rather not have Oots be in his position. Better to marry earlier when he could raise a family. Adam, I really love this game. Anyway, I'm sure you have things to do. I'll let you go back to them. Always, okay. All right. Well. Oh boy. Okay, what we need to do is Fabian and Ursula are useless. Voslav, any of these guys? God bless you. Bless you, Magdalena. Hello, Matilda. Hello, Vostok. How are you?
Very well, the Lord has blessed us more than we deserve. And how are you, Magdalena? I was worried about you keeping the house and the workshop on your own.
I am not Haley Williams.
Let me bring some soup for you and your father.
You're very kind, Matilda. Thank you.
Not at all, Magdalena. This is how I was served when I served Tassing. Our vocation may have changed, but our gratitude to God and the town has not.
You're always so dedicated to the town. It's hard to imagine you two ever lived in the Abbey.
How sometimes these days feel like another lifetime. A hard time, to be sure.
I thought with the back there Benedictines didn't like the poor Clares.
We live simple lives of devotion, but
not that simple. I'm given to understand they don't make art in the convent now. It's such a shame in that beautiful workshop. In any case, a man's vows include dedication to a simple life with all the challenges that entails. But I struggled with my vows, my discipline. I couldn't live as my sisters did. I broke my vows as in Vorslov. Together? You fell in love.
Here we did. Well, I seduced her.
You certainly did not.
Are you telling young Magda here that you seduced me, then?
Vorslov, please! Ha ha! Ha ha ha! So you left the Abbey?
Though no one learned of what we did, the matter ate my heart. Not of being falsely accused of murdering the old Baron terrified you, and rightly so.
We all must account for our sins, Magdalena. I was afraid I would take account for mine for sooner than I thought.
Those were the hardest years of my life.
I repented and prayed to God to absolve me.
But the Lord always provides, even in the darkest days.
The Abbey's destruction gave us a second chance.
It must be strange to leave. It must have been strange to leave that life after so long.
Oh, well, I would admit it's been strange not to be able to enter the convent. I miss the sisters terribly some days, but truthfully, it's been a relief not to be constrained by my vows. I love getting it on. The Lord forgives more readily than man, Magdalena. God, never think that you must remain in a place that causes you to sin, even if others think it godly.
I've never realized you two went through so much together. The revolt covered up many sins, yes, including many of our own.
Only by the grace of God are we in this life together.
May it be many more years before we part.
God willing. Anyway, Magdalena, I'll send that soup off to you.
Thank you, Matilda.
God bless you, Magda.
God bless.
So that guy. So that was the the nun who was violated by the Lord.
Hello, Magdalena. How's Klaus? Rezzy and I are very worried.
Alive, that's what all matters.
Did you discover who attacked him?
No, whoever it was, they left no sign.
A terrible crime. Terrible! May God look after both of you. We had enough tragedy in this town. As Gertrude been by to see him, I'd trust her over that doctor. He's not reliable.
He's all Dad and I have. I don't know what to do, Andres.
Oh, Magdalena, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't gossip. If there's anything Rezzy and I can do for you, let me know.
I will. Thank you for your kindness, Andres.
It's nothing. I owe your father more than I can say. Take care, Magdalena.
Okay. Well, this is not okay. So, hey, Rezzy. Hello, Mistress Drucktrin. How is Klaus? Andres and I have been terribly worried. Dad's spirits are high, but he gets headaches and spells of dizziness. If there's anything we can help you with, let us know. Andres is always ready to provide. He and Klaus have been friends for a long, long time. Heard of tales of Andres coming to find you in Innsbruck. How does that ever happen? The twists of Providence are sudden and unpredictable. I was but a young girl selling all manner of wares in the market, pots and lye. One day this man appears to the stall, all jitters and nervouses, staring over his works, but charming. In a way, we spoke at length. I was intrigued and soon enamored, as if a candle had been lit. Andres is a man of talent, and me is, after all, blessed with a kind soul. How did it feel to leave home for someone from far away, uprooting yourself from the life you had? Fried to be sure, leaving Innsbruck, my friends and family behind. But it was exciting as well, going off to find new opportunities, building life. There wasn't much I had to look forward to in Innsbruck. Few prospects for a pearl girl. I couldn't see myself sitting on the market, continuing to sell odds and ends. Sometimes there are risks we just have to take. That's very inspiring, Rezzy. I'm glad you find happiness here. We all struggle and swirl, but the moments of joy outweigh the bad. It's how God has set the world, His benevolence guiding us through all of it. I feel like I've been blessed. It's not been all bad for Andres either. Hee. I assist him with the bookkeeping side of the smithy and other things. Thank you for telling me about your past. It's nothing, Magdalena. I hope it's provided you with some encouragement. Don't forget you are important as well and deserve your life. All right, I have to assist Andres with a few things. Bye. Okay, first of all, we gotta get our own rope. We gotta get our rope. I want to go to the tinkerer and try to get him to help me. Hey, Gret, what up?
Magdalena, darling.
Good morning, Gret. It smells heavenly in here.
Oh, ha, just finished rolling out some raisin bread. I thought that Andres and Ulrika could use a treat today.
What a sweet idea. Any special occasion?
Oh, not really. I didn't want raisins to go to waste. Besides, I like to drop in on Anna and see my grandchildren. I'm more blessed than I ever imagined I would be. Paul and Anna make such a lovely pair. Ulrich wouldn't believe his eyes if he saw us now. I wish he could see his grandchildren.
I'm sure I always did think it was strange that your daughter married the son of the man who killed your husband. Oh, what? Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yes. I'm sorry that his sacrifice was what... Oh, yeah.
As I am, Magda. You know, I was angry when Anna first took a liking to young Paul.
He was always a quiet boy, but I was afraid he'd turn out like his father. Well, I didn't have word. Paul's a good man and a good father. He's built this town back up from what it was. It's good to see Elsa is so social now. She's come out of her shell. Was she not? She's been asking me for recommendations for the lady reading circle. How wonderful. You are the one to ask for such a list. I would join her group myself, but I'm just too busy with a bakery myself. But I don't mind that. It keeps me busy. And I get to see everyone in town when I deliver to them. And I've been chatting too long. My doughs need tending. Please excuse me, Magdalena. Of course, Gret. Yo, so Lenhardt's son, Paul, took back over the mill, married Anna. Oh, that's so fun. Every time we talk to somebody. Hey, Carl.
Good day, mistress.
Okay, so we need to go here and get him to create something to get me down there. What's up now, Zal? Hey, what's up? Balthazar.
Magdalena, hello. I was just jotting down a few ideas. Did you need something?
Yes, I have a moment. I need to get in the old salt mine, but I don't have a way down. Can you help me? No Voyage to the Stars news. I'm so sorry. I don't think there's going to be any more.
To get in the salt mine, yes, you must be on quite the adventure. Ideally, we'd rig up a bubble pulley system to lower and raise yourself to the shaft, but that might take a while.
Well, I would like to go in today, if possible.
Of course.
Would a good length of rope suffice? You could brace against the wall of the mine shaft. Are you strong enough to support your own weight?
Against the wall? Yes, I think so.
Excellent.
Thank you, Balthus.
Of course, of course. Here you go. Do be careful, though. Make sure the ropes are secure.
I will, until then.
Good luck, Magdalena.
I'm not helping the twins. I am not helping the twins. I refuse to help the twins. I just don't want to help the twins. I don't want to help them. I don't want to help them. I think one of the council definitely hit my dad on the head. Let's see, anybody here? Wow, this mural. I'm gonna probably have like the choice to paint naked people or, let's see. Now we need to talk to Ill Peter as well. This is the, oh, there's not Lucky, it's Craft. Oh, Craft, yeah. Hey, Magdalena. Let's see, I just want to make sure I'm getting everybody. Please help the twins. Good morning, Magdalena. Brisk weather today, isn't it? And still Craft is over there working with Father Thomas to repair the church. I worry about that boy sometimes. He works the stone, but I'm not always sure he has his mind set on it. Masonry is a good trade. He's working hard to mend the holes in his father made in tassing. That he is. I'm proud of him. Worked for hours with my husband before he passed. Never thought he'd take up the stone masonry for the town, but he seems to have a spirit for it. Ha ha! Ha! Ah! He's done a lot of good for tassing. With Lucky gone, there's always so much more he can learn on his own. I've offered the boy an apprenticeship, but he won't make up his damn mind.
He's a good man, Agnes. You should be proud.
Thank you, Magdalena. I've done my best for my household, despite what happened the past few decades. Ah, well, you didn't come here to hear my ramble on about my family. What can I do for you?
I thought you might have some additional remedies for my father.
Oh, water's not enough. I understand Klaus's condition is dire, but I thought water would be able to provide something.
I don't know if it will save him, but I want... Dr. Souls has been less than reliable.
Ah, I can't imagine he provided any helps whatsoever at the moment. The bastard's made a mess of himself these past few years. I don't pity the man, though. He's done this to himself. Let me see what I can whip up. Ooh. I can't promise anything, but God willing, I pray it provides some help.
Thank you, Agnes.
Of course, Magdalena. Thank you.
Okay, so I got some shit from her. I need to talk to Craft and have him be a stonemason, but he's not going to have it. All right. Let's go in my house and try to give my dad some of that medicine. Okay. Oh, I need to write a couple letters too, right? Hey, Dad. Hello, Magdalena. Okay, I can't do much. Okay. Can I write a letter? I need to write a letter to... Oh, I can't do it right now. Okay. All right, they really just want me to go. Should I go up to the mill? Talk to Father Thomas, maybe? There's a lot of people to talk to, you know what I'm saying? Oh, here we go.
Oh, God bless you, Magdalena.
And you, Father Thomas? You look troubled. What's the matter?
I seem to have lost the key to the tabernacle. Without it, we'd have to go without the Eucharist on Sunday.
I'm sure I could find a way to get the tabernacle open. The lock shouldn't be that complex.
Absolutely not. I won't have you picking your way into the tabernacle. Even for a righteous purpose, I don't like the prospect of it. And why on earth do you know how to pick locks, Magdalena?
All women do. It's just a matter of being a good wife. We have to be able to manage our family finances.
Hardly abusing Mistress Drucklin. Regardless, I won't have you force your way into the tabernacle. I'll find that key eventually. I won't leave tassing sanctification at risk.
I think I know where your missing key went.
Oh, you found it. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Magdalena. You do have it then.
Not quite, but I know who does.
Magdalena, you implied that someone stole the tabernacle key.
I think the twins stole it, Father. They've been plotting something all day.
Those fickle little rat bags. No matter how many times I warned their suffering, they could be endured if they do.
Uh-oh, I just tattled. They're going to put a bunch of frogs in there.
They continue in impious, impetuous ways. I swear the devil's in those children. Name them after pagan gods, no wonder. I shall have another talk with their parents, I think. Your piety shines all more brightly in comparison to their iniquity.
Don't punish them too harshly, Father.
The God will see to that, not I. God bless you, Magdalena.
Whoops. I'm a snitch. I didn't mean to do that. I also have to talk to Ill Peter. Let's do this. This will be the last people. Anybody have anything for me here?
Magdalena, can I help you with something? I came to see how you're doing. Not really, unless you can tell me about the early history of Tassing. No, I know nothing of those times. I used to sometimes borrow books from your dad, but what's the point? Reading is beneficial for the mind and the soul. Books so full of words and falsehoods. Did any of them save us from the pain and the suffering, from death? No, in fact, the 12 articles called it all, the revolt, everything. And that is why I failed. Why my poor dear Leonard died.
Oh, boy.
Why did he die when somebody lived? I'm just dead weight for Paul and Anna. I should never have escaped the mill. What are you saying? What kind of life is it, this? A sad, tired shell of a woman. I'm 41 years old. I should be dead. However alone carry the weight of death. Leave me be.
Jesus! Your mother-in-law is a trip, man. Your mom is like, huge downer, dude.
Good morning, Magdalena. How's the mural coming along?
Well, I think I'm off to start the first part of the mural today. I'll paint the founding of Tassing and the Romans.
Well, you won't want for any models. Tassing is littered with Roman ruins. It's almost a nuisance. I trust you'll take the council's opinions on the matter into account.
I'll listen to you, but ultimately the decision on what to paint lies with me.
Of course, you are the craftsman in this endeavor. Our craftswoman, as it were. I'll ask you to keep the Lord in mind. The mural's for Tassing, but we have others to appease as well.
I'll consider the Lord, don't worry.
Thank you, Magdalena. And anyway, I'm glad the mural's coming along well. Forgive my sudden question about it. I've been so busy preparing for the council's next meeting. I haven't had as much time with Anna as usual. She says I get a bit frantic when I'm overwhelmed. This guy is like so... Brr.
Is the council working on something new?
We're considering yearly maintenance checks on every house in Tassing, and the idea's had quite a bit more pushback than we anticipated.
New ideas always face some kind of opposition. I don't think you should let that stop you.
Thank you, Magdalena. I understand the hesitation. Folks like to look after their own homes and their own land, but this would help protect those in Tassing who don't have the skill to fix things themselves. Widows like Agnes or Gret. In any case, the matter's far from resolved. I imagine spring will come before anything is actually done. I'd better get back to work. Thank you for letting me interrupt you today. God bless you.
God bless you.
Wow. Just the downiest of down. Now, I need to go talk to Il Peter. And then I have a rope. Is Agnes still alive? It's a different Agnes, I'm pretty sure. What's up, chat? Chatty chat. That was the most boring conversation so far. It was pretty boring. Good to farm.
Magdalena, how are the hinges on your doors?
Excuse me?
The door has hinges at home. Are they in good working order?
To be honest, I've never really checked. I'm more worried about taking care of the press than looking at doors' hinges.
Right. Maybe Indra should take a look at them. I would have asked your father, but, well, yeah. Anyway, you wouldn't believe how many people in this town leave their hinges to rust.
What's up? Wow.
Is that something... Really, Jorg, if you wanted to...
That's not, the council looking after the town. Paul would like to institute a yearly check of all the homes in Tassing.
What do you think about the idea, Jorg?
Well, it's not a bad thing. I don't see why we need to make it official. Everyone in Tassing helps each other. As I see it, if someone notices a house in disrepair, we'll all pitch in. To do anything else would be unchristian. But if Paul wants to see it through, I'm happy to go along with it. Makes me feel useful, you know. Speaking of, I better get back to work. Nice to chat with you. Yeah.
Where's Paul? Oh, you know what? Remember there was a little girl who we couldn't persuade to not know about the pagans? Who was that?
Hello, Magdalena. How's the mural going? I hope my husband hasn't been bothering about it too much.
Is that a concern?
Has he said anything about it to you?
Well, I mean, he's relieved they don't have to make a decision about the matter anymore. He runs the farm just fine, but being on the council made him think he had a say in everything going on in Tassing. Town business is all he talks about these days.
You give up on Twitch chat. Why, Snowbound? Twitch chat's pretty great.
These men are bad influence on either. Now they're chatting around about a yearly check of the hinges on every door in the town. Hinges? Who gives a damn if the hinges on the front door creak? To be fair, if your hinges creak, the door's integrity is at stake. Yeah, well, I don't need to check every door in my house every year like it's a feast day. If there's a creaky hinge, I'll hear it. Anyway, I think it's good of you to be working on the mural. I wish Artemis and Apollo would take interest in something like that. Speaking of, have you seen them around anywhere? I asked them to look after the chickens, but they've disappeared. They're catching frogs in the forest for some reason. Oh, those two. What do they even need frogs for? Father Thomas says they're only so much trouble because I named them after the Greek gods. He says those names have power, but I still like them. Besides, Apollo and Artemis were gods of virtues. If anything, they should be more well-behaved. I don't think anything will stop the twins from going their own way in life. You're right. Father Thomas spends too much time in his books. Anyway, I'd better go find those rascals. Good luck on the bureau. Thanks, Veronica. Until later. Okay, so that was it. Hello, Magdalena, dear. How are you? How's Klaus? It's hard to know for certain. One day he seems well, and the next I can hardly understand his words. Oh, Magdalena, I'll keep praying for you both. The both of you deserve the best. Life's been hard enough for you already. Please let me know if you need any help around the house. I'd be happy to help. Oh, thank you, Clara. That's very nice of you. I've been so busy in the rot house I've let the house go a bit. Not to worry, I'll come by and help. Besides, then we can chat and make chores go past faster. With all my children up and grown, I have no husband to care for anymore. I'm gonna make myself useful. Wow, this whole story of a town is if your husband dies, your children grow up. Why do you exist? Big Yori's still in the house. Oh, yes, but he's a grown man with children of his own. He and Veronica are capable of caring for their own household now. Ava's taking care of Utz, and Ursula and Fabian have their own life together. They don't need me anymore. But isn't that a good thing? Heavens, yes, I thank God that my children are all grown and prospering. After so many years attending to them and maintaining a home, I don't know what else to do. You should come by the workshop. I have some books you might like. Oh, thank you, Magdalena. You're a sweet girl. I'll come by soon, all right, to help with the chores and the books, of course. I'll see you then, Clara. God bless you. I mean, it's a lot of women whose children have grown up who are useless to society. I don't know. Feeling bad about themselves? Hello, Peter. Can I talk to you for a moment? Basta! Can I talk to you for a moment? No, don't you shout at me. I'm sorry, Peter. What do you want, anyway? I was wondering if you could tell me some of the stories about Tassing. Oh, the old tales, huh? Been so damn long since anyone have thought to ask me what I know. There's so few of the old tales knocking about this school, huh? Do you know are there any myths from even before the Romans came to Tassing? Of course there are. The Romans weren't the first ones that lived here, you know. There are spirits older than the saints that live in the woods, older than the Romans. They protected Tassing before St. Maurice ever set a blessed foot in the town. What sort of spirits? The sort that I'm getting at. Did your father teach you patience, Magdalena? Sorry. It's Virtue and her wild hunt that scared them evil ones away. They protected Tassing since the founding day. This guy should read audiobooks. Long before the Romans, our ancestors roamed these mountains under a great chieftain called Rhaetus. Wait, isn't Rhaetus a Latin name? The ending on his name is the masculine singular ending common on most Roman names. Plenty of names end with the same letters. Doesn't make them Latin, does it? Now quit your yabbering, let's it! Folks weren't as kind as they are now. The tribes fought one another for the best land. The old chieftain was a yellow-bellied coward who neglected the old gods. He was too proud to make offerings. Because of him, the gods favored other tribes. Rhaetus' people had no land to call their own. So they wandered through these mountains and valleys and hunting and gathering what they could to survive. One day, when the winter was approaching, Rhaetus went hunting and found a wounded wolf tangled in a heap. Instead of killing the beast as most men would, he helped the beast and loosened it from its bounds. Was the wolf a spirit in disguise? Of course not! Wolves are wild scars! Spirits don't need the skins of animals for their power. Still, you got a sense of a thing. The old gods are keen to repay favors done in Percha, the goddess of the wild hunt. Wolves are her animals. She leads the wild hunt. The wolves see the hunt of the first. Now, back in my day, folks knew it was a bad luck to kill a wolf. Now I'm the only one who remembers those things. Percha saw Rhaetus' action and took favor and told the wolf to lead the chief to her sacred spring. Rhaetus led his people to the church and claimed it for his homeland, and we've been in this valley ever since. Then the goddamn Romans came and destroyed everything, but you see, there were other gods protecting this place before St. Maurice. That's why few of us still honor Percha.
She protects us against witches and fiends.
Smokey told me a similar story with a wolf and a nymph, except his was about the Roto gods.
Ah, the Romans tried to wipe out all their old ways. Made everything about themselves. You think those wide-addled fools could stand to have us order customs? Not it. They might have built this town. They didn't write a story. No. God sent purchase to protect these ones for those sub-brain bastards. Even if I'm the only one who can see it through the old customs.
What about the Romans? Do you know any Roman legends of Tassie?
Roman legends? I don't bother with stories for outsiders and tales of gods that aren't our own. The Romans did nothing but conquer our people and destroy our stuff. They spent generations after generations building Tassie back up for them days. And still our traditions keep dying with no one to carry them. Only Ursula's giving a damn about them these days.
That's what I want to know, Peter. These stories need to be on the mural.
The mural, huh? Nah. Fine. I don't know any of the old Roman shit.
All right. I have a lot to think about. Thank you for sharing your stories with me, Peter.
At least someone wants to listen to me. Little Ursula used to sit by me years ago and listen to everything about the old customs. Too busy for that now, of course, but you might talk to her. She might remember more than I do. Used to listen to the widow, too. Old Attilia knew more about the old ways than any of us. I'm tired.
I'll leave you to rest. God bless you, Peter.
Nah.
Now, where is Ursula? Who is Ursula? Let's see. Where did Ursula end up? That was the little girl. Ursula's sitting on the bench. Okay, thank you. I knew I saw her, but I was like, I don't remember seeing her.
Hello, Magdalena.
Hello, Hans.
I hope your dad recovers quickly. He's a good man.
Thank you. I'll tell him you said that.
Good. This town has seen too many terrible things. We've recovered before. Maybe the Lord will return your dad's health, too.
We can't expect the Lord to do all the work. Perhaps there's something in one of my books.
Don't spend so much time with your head in a book that you missed your dad's last days. Be glad you had this time with him, I say. Wish I'd had as much with Halvig. Anyway, I should get back to it.
Until later, Hans.
I don't know why I always have a conversation with him. Now, hey, we got a cutscene with Simon.
Hey, Magdalena. I heard what happened to your dad. How's he doing?
Resting. He suffered a severe blow to the head. I'm worried, to say the least.
Hans sends his regards. The Bauer household praying for a swift recovery.
Thank you, and Hans and Jutta as well.
I will. Klaus has always been such a bedrock of Tassing. I'd hate for him to die. I'd be I'm sorry.
He's not. It's fine. I fear it as well. It's best not to ignore one's tears. Do you miss your father? Your real one, I mean?
Do I miss him? I don't remember Joseph at all. He's been kind of a haze, a faint echo, a feeling, an occasional emotion. I was so young when he got killed, Mom, and I had trouble understanding what happened for a long time.
I understand. My mom, she's like an empty hole in my life. I have nothing of her.
Oh, yeah, you never even got to see her, right? Not even a memory, huh? Too bad. Suppose you have yourself for comparison. God molded you after her. I can imagine how she could have been, like, stubborn, unruly.
If that's what it takes, I don't see people of wealth and power giving the rest of us much headway.
Guess not. But we know what happened 18 years ago. I can understand why the town council's careful. I don't know, I'm not smart like you, Magdalena. Anyway, the winter draws to a close. I got a preparation to take for her. I truly hope Klaus recovers soon. God look after him.
Until later, Simon.
All right, ladies. You got anything?
Hello, Magdalena. How's the mural coming? I heard you browbeat the council, letting you do it yourself.
I took some work, but I convinced them to let me paint the Rathaus, yes.
Haha, well, it's good to see those stubborn bastards can be moved. God may have made man from dust, but I swear he left some of them with rocks for brains, too. Did you know Jorg was by to check on my hinges? I've had enough of their silly projects. That Zimmerman boy seems to have a good head on his shoulders, though. Once you're settled down with him, you'll have a good life ahead of you.
I'm hard to think about my future right now with what's happening with my dad.
Oh, sweet girl, I'm sorry. My mouth goes faster than my head sometimes. Or, so my Johann used to say. Your dad's always been a fair weather friend to people like me. He's a family man at heart. I respect it. I hope he knows how lucky he is to have you looking after him.
He regrets it, you know, what happened tonight, the abbey burned.
I'm sure he does. He could have made a real difference for us, stuck his neck out, but he was scared. We all wish things could have turned out different, but that's life. Ha ha ha. Anyway, give my best wishes to your father and take care of yourself. Okay, bye. Bye. Hey, lady.
Jutta? Oh, good. You don't have anything to say. Thank God. Okay. Let's go find Ursula, and then we're going to go down to the salt mines. Wow, it's already 8:44. Thank you, Fluffles. Thanks for being here. Hello, Magdalena. Oh, she doesn't have shit to say right now. Excuse my language. All right, maybe later I'll find her. Do I want to get my own rope? Let's see. Oh, this isn't his house. Bye. No. Hey, Oots. Hola, Oots. I just like saying it, and it's because Oots, 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 Oots. I'm into it. I gotta tell you, I'm into it. Oots, 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 Oots. Oots, 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 Oots. Hey, I told on you.
I can't believe you would ruin our plan and tell Father Thomas, Magdalena. It was going to be hilarious, but you ruined it. Putting frogs in the Eucharist isn't funny. It risks the sound's salvation. Oh, come on, Magdalena. You don't really believe that, do you? Ugh, whatever. That's the last time we help you.
Oh no, I just want to see Artemis get mad at me. Well, I probably shouldn't have done that.
Go away, Magdalena.
Oh, shh. I didn't mean it. I did. I don't like them. I love their names, but they're dickheads. I didn't want to help them. Listen, Casper did not get himself murdered. I don't know. All right, let's do this. I didn't want to help him, and I decided not to help him. I didn't know I was going to... Yeah. Well... We're doing it. You know, the one thing we didn't do was we didn't go talk to the nuns. But it's okay. We just talked to everybody exhaustively. Okay, we can do this. Are we going to die? Got done with season 10 of Supernatural. Aw, well, just Zach, thank you so much. I really had a good time doing that show. God, it feels like 10 years ago that I did that show. It was 2020, and it feels like a lifetime ago. Makes me kind of upset. What time is it? What is time anyway? Well, this game is really like a time management game because you can only do so many things. It feels like there's a little less pressure here because I wasn't having to pick between like 4 or 5 things. So I didn't want to help Artemis and Apollo. I didn't want to help them, okay? They were dickheads. Apollo rubbed me the wrong way. Thank you, Drezak. Well. Uh-oh. Look at this. All right, here we go. Am I gonna die? Here we go. There are a lot of different coins down here. How odd. It's not like this is a saint's well. So is that the treasure? Remember that treasure we saw? Oh, a tablet. There's still writing on it. These tablets are usually used to keep track of accounts. They're easy to scrape clean and maintain. This wax looks beyond use, though. Oh, it's a poem. I think it's a love note. Rising Passion. Geliebte J. Meine Großliebe, keine andere ist vergleichbar mit dir. Selbst als König Salomon sprach von den allerschönsten Frauen, wagte er nicht, sich die vorzustellen. Die Liebe deiner Brust lässt schwellen in ein ausgebenden Leidenschaft. I don't know German, but schwellen in mir einen aufstrebende Leidenschaft.
Poor Jay. I hope her lover was better things. I mean, take a screenshot for later. Yeah, somebody translate for me. Bloody Albatross isn't here, but... Oh, this looks like a larger version of some of Baltrus's contraptions. This winch must have been attached to some kind of hauling and pulley system. Fascinating. Now that I'm down here, I should see what I could find from the Roman era and beyond. Oh, bones. They're far too big to be human. Yeah, I wonder if it is in the... Oh, a piece of pottery. It's beautiful. Okay. Oh, another shard. I'd love to smash some barrels. Another piece. I wonder if they're all from the same pot. Oh, another shard. Oh, look at this. It's so cool. Oh, these must be the same kind of figurines Till and the other farmers find in the fields. To think that there are so many remnants of our ancestors scattered in fields and caves like this. Take one. They're cool. One day your ancestors will buy a house with it. There is no loot. Yeah. No loot in a game like this. Pointy clicky. Pointy clicky. This pottery is scattered everywhere. More pottery. Yet another pottery piece. There's a Latin inscription here. Cassia, give me water, or Pluto preserve me. This salt is drying me to death. Wow. Yikes, doesn't sound like working down here was pleasant. Oh, look at this. Oh, this looks like a Roman map of Tassing. I wonder what's changed. Let's see if I can map everything out. There's an aqueduct and a spring. The abbey was an old fort on the hill. And there's the rest of the town. Wait, what's this building? I don't recognize it. Mithraeum. I don't recognize that word from any of my books. I can't quite tell what it's meant to lay on the map. Maybe some sort of temple? Well, whatever it is, it's not in Tassing now. That's so odd. Is that where they were doing all those... Here's another piece. This almost looks like an altar, but what would an altar be doing in a salt mine? It's even carved out of the salt. I don't know. Pretty cool. The music was turning ominous. It had sort of like a... Another inscription. It is not very formal. A worker must have carved it. Latus's soul ascended in the Mithraeum. My soul will descend in this damned hall of salt. Christ, that's rough. There's that word again, Mithraeum. It must have been important to the Romans. Oh, more pottery. More Latin writing. If we cannot enter the Mithraeum, we'll make our own altar to the gods. It sounds like the Mithraeum was some kind of temple. I've never heard that word before. Pretty cool, you guys. Okay. Remember when Casper crawled under the aqueduct? Yes, that must be it, you guys. Very interesting. Yeah, because it came out at that other Roman ruin. Very cool. It's where Mithril is. Yes, exactly. Mithraeum. You get the vibranium at down the street. This piece matches the other pieces. I have a lot of pottery pieces. I should find out if they're all from the same pot. Ooh! Puzzle! Puzzle, 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 puzzle. Look at that. Wow, these controls are very strange. This must go up here, right? Who's this guy with it? Maybe this guy's kicking. Who's this guy kicking? Oh boy.
boy, it's a puzzle, guys. Okay, this guy, that's not his body. Oh God. Is this the guy's body? No. That doesn't go. This is very, I can't get it off. It basically, you place it and it rotates, but I can't get it off the shard. I can't get it off. Ooh. Okay, the black rim form a circle. Yeah, maybe. Okay, it's really bad. This is a really bad puzzle. Okay, well, let's see. We got this. Ah, look, that works. Okay, that's actually for sure. That's actually for sure. So, and this goes here. All right, we got it. It's just, the controls are very counterintuitive. Oh, that looks like it goes there. All right, okay, I'm getting the hang of it. It's just, if we solve this as a summon a demon to destroy our enemies, I mean, that would be awesome. So let's make that happen. That looks like it could be there. That guy is holding, There we go. Okay. Okay, we're getting it. We're getting it, you guys. I think it makes a circle, so I don't think those are actually well placed. This goes... I need to move this. Well, this goes here because it's continuation of the line. And then where's another line? Ah, here we go. That doesn't work. Oh, that's it. It's the upside down. There we go. There we go. That's not in the right place. Maybe it's that one? Nope. This place was smashed into a very uniform grid. I know. That goes there. There we go. And this goes here. Okay, cool. Looks like this one is going to go upside down. There we go. All right, that was, it was just the controls were a little odd. All right, what's going on here? Got it! The figures on this pot lid look like they're telling a story. These paintings must depict an early myth even before the Romans. Interesting. Let me see. This must be Perkta, and that must be the forest spirits, part of the wild hunt. Oh God, the next part looks like a human sacrifice. Someone, maybe a chieftain, is sacrificing a man to Perkta. The bottom half of the lid continues the story. These look like spirits. They must be coming in to feast on the sacrifice. Great. Thank you, Quids. That must be how our ancestors tried to keep Tassing safe. They offered sacrifices to Perkta. Oh, boy. This is part of our history, but I'm not sure this is the best story to portray. I'm feeling that maybe human sacrifice. I have to think about it more before I decide for certain. All right, I better keep it going before I run out of oil for my lamp. All right. Oh, a cave-in. The wood here looks newer than the first part of the mine. Was this collapse recent? I won't be able to go any further with all the rubble. I suppose this is as far as I can go. Still, the murals on the wall show me what Tassie was like when the Romans were here. I wonder if I could find out where the Mithraeum was or what it is. And putting the pottery shards back together showed one of the earliest stories of Tassing. And I think I've seen everything I can down here. My oil's running out. Time to climb back. Hello. Thank you so much for being here, all of you. Yeah, I don't know. Teach the controversy. I mean, I'm feeling like maybe not. Oh. I mean, perk down the wild hunt, it would be cool. Uh-oh. It's the twins. Wait, who's that? Hello, is someone there? I better get out of the shop before another rock comes crashing down. It looked like somebody with a beard, right? Somebody tried to trap me down there. Oh my God. Creepy. Who was that? Even Apollo and Artemis would have helped me out of here. Well, now I have some information. I can make some decisions on the first section of the mural. I should go back to the rat house and get to work. Alrighty. Okay, we did a little bit of work. I hope that oh, okay, that was just a couple hours. Okay. Yoo-hoo, what up? Undisclosed username. What's up?
You!
Yes?
I'm Halabrant, the Lord's gamekeeper. Why are you grazing pigs in the woods?
Was that you watching me a few minutes ago? That rock almost hit me. I'm the princess.
Watching you? No, Rock? I don't know what you're talking about. Now answer me.
I'm the printer's daughter, Magdalena Druckman.
I didn't ask your name. I asked why you're grazing pigs here. Answer me.
That's not my pig.
I've been walking around this forest for hours. Other than the charcoal burner and the tinker, you're the only other person I've seen. The pig doesn't belong to you. What are you doing here?
Does everyone have to justify being in the woods?
I think you're stealing the Lord's wood or illegally grazing your pigs, yes? All right, let me ask a different question. Whose pig is this?
I don't know. The pig was in the woods when I came in here.
Ah, a mysterious lost pig, who apparently belongs to no one. If I find any more pigs in the woods, I'll kill them on the spot, and those who brought them out here. Do you understand?
Yes?
Good. Remind your neighbors what happens when you break the Lord's law.
I know the Lord's men patrolled these woods, and I've never seen one before. I didn't realize I was so strict.
Damn, that guy sucks.
Suppose I should consider myself lucky.
Dead pig alert! What an absolute dick. Also, Apollo and Artemis were here.
Oh, they hate me. I was gonna marry you. You were another... That's not okay.
Magdalena, still wandering around the forest. I'd get back to town quickly if I were you.
Why, see the ghost, Smokey?
Not the time to be making jokes, Mistress Magdalene. The Lord's warden has been stalking around the woods. He came by shortly after you did, asking about pigs and laws. He looked rather determined to start trouble. I was worried. Might have sent him your way. But it seems you come back all right.
I ran him on the way back from the mine. He shot one of the town's pigs for grazing in the forest. Said it was a warning for breaking the Lord's law.
Christ, was that what that crack was? I thought a tree had fallen. The the Lord's men haven't come through Tassing too often. I wonder what brought this one.
Whatever the reason, I don't like to think of the council's reaction.
Well, it won't matter to them, Millet. They don't have pigs to they grazing. They only care if they won't cause trouble for the Lord. Listen, Magdalena, that one won't bother me, but you should get back home, all right? Don't come out of the forest for a while. Let the bastard move on to other towns.
All right, thanks, Smokey.
See you, Master Magdalena.
Listen. In the past, man, you'd get killed for hunting in the King's woods. Total BS, but hey, what do you do? Okay. Well, I guess I need to go to the rat house. I wanted to give my dad that medicine. Oh, look, Clara.
Magdalena, dear. Hello, Clara. Thank you again for helping me look after the house. I can't tell you how much more time this gives me to work on the mural. Oh, it's no trouble. You have your hands full as it is. I know Dad really enjoys talking to you. Oh, he sleeps most of the day, but he's been in good spirits whenever I drop in on him. You two keep a clean house, too. Well, aside from your workshop, but I can't blame you for that. I've left that to you to take care of. I don't want to damage your supplies. Thank you, Clara. Truly, you've been such a blessing to both of us. Oh, you're such a sweet dear, Magdalena. God bless you. I'm just a 40-year-old woman who doesn't really have time for anything.
Get that rope. I could have just... I'm gonna marry... He was terrible. All right, I thought I got some special medicine for him, but I guess maybe she's gonna bring it later. I don't know. Also, I need to write some letters, but I guess they'll have me do that later. Okay, let's just go to the rod house. We're definitely not gonna finish this act. We'll have a couple more streamies. Can I talk you into craft? Oh, okay. Let's just get to the rat house. I think Agnes is still making the medicine. Okay, good. Maybe I'll save my dad's life because I have a feeling he's gonna die based on my... All right, let's do it. Okay. Here it is, guys. Hey, Mags, how's the mural coming along? I'm gonna see if anybody wants to Fortnite Sunday. That would be super fun. Magdalena.
Can't you let it go? Mags is so much easier.
No, Otto Zimmerman, I can't.
Don't call me. Fine. Anyway, Magdalena, how's the mural going? Doesn't look like much yet.
Well, one work of art appears significant at the start. Do you think Michelangelo was born a great sculptor?
I suppose not. So, Michelangelo, what are you doing? That's pretty good. I'll give him that one. I'll give him that one.
Hell, I just finished priming the wall. Now I have to decide what to depict. It's hard to piece together the history of Tassing when it happened so long ago. Since the Abbey Library burned, I can only rely on stories from people around Tassing. Even what I could find about the Romans and pagans were obscure. I had to go into the old salt mine to find anything. At least now I know what to paint for the first part of the mural.
So, what is it?
I'll use the pottery and tools the farmers have found to show how we lived before the moment. Voki told me a story.
Oh, this is it. Okay. We definitely don't want to do human sacrifice. This is an interesting one about healing the wolf. We definitely don't want we did do all the man work through the pot. I don't know about human sacrifice, guys. I just don't feel like it's we don't want to do God, the wolf, and the nymph, right? Because the nymph, that's a little randy. Are you whitewashing their history? The Healing the Wolf is a nice story. I'll use the pottery and tools the farmers have found. I mean, I don't know. Poll time. All right, I'm going with it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm fine with the poll. I'll go with the poll. Mural. Okay. Farmers pottery and tools. Smoky Mars story. Ill Peter Ray story. And human perkta plate human sacrifice story. Plate sacrifice. Okay. All right, guys. I'd like not to get killed for heresy, but you know, we'll see what do. I mean, it's one piece. Chat won't steer you wrong. It looks like, okay, Il Peter's story's going. Nice. Nice one, yeah. Good one. I wonder how the first one would even work, you know? I'll use the pottery and tools the farmers have found to show how we lived before the Romans. The 40-year-old kitchen lady. Oh, God. I don't know, you guys. I'm leaving it up to you. A lot of people are wanting plate sacrifices, okay? A lot of people wanting plate sacrifices. All right, I'm just waiting. Just waiting. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? And it is. Oh, it's Il Peter. Ah, really? Is that how we all got here? Kind of sounds like some story I heard about a saint. I don't think I've heard it, sorry. So what made you choose this story anyway? It's a story about our pagan past that isn't overly supernatural. I like that it's about the founding of Tassing. Everyone knows the spring in the woods. I guess that's true. We all know that it's old and it's always been here. It just tells a story about how we found it. Thanks for explaining it. Of course. I want you all to understand why I'm making these choices. Now that we figured this portion of the mirror out, I better start thinking of the next session. I'll leave it to it, Magdalene. Good night, Oats. Good night, Magdalene. I don't know. Well, we did it. We did it. We decided it, and we did it. Then I decided I've decided how to depict Tassing's earliest history. I should decide on how to depict Cursor's earliest history. Mother Illuminata's letter mentioned that a Matthew Fossingly Soaks, I don't even know how to say that, used to be a brother in Cursor. She said he knew a great deal about the Abbey's history. I should write to him and ask him what he remembers. Oh, and I have Esther's letter to answer, too. I should write them both now before bed. Oh, before I write, I should read that old book Brigitte gave me. Maybe I'll learn something pertinent for the murals. The Spring in the Woods on the next Hallmark movie. All right, where to begin? Right, the old book. It was the Barons before Martin stole it. When the Romans, having conquered the town, built up the walls around it, they established many temples there. This is harder to read than I thought. The book isn't in great shape either, since it's been sitting in a farmer's house so long. Still, it matches the type of book bindings I've seen from other German printers. It's not that old. I love my abilities, by the way. Let's see. Oh, here's a section about the various dedications erected in the town. That might be easier to read. Ergo simulacrum in agre et ut Mars nostrum aperum conspiciat. I raise a vision in a field so that Mars may behold our work. Oh. Sedi Diana, loco scaturigonosus ipsa. Diana sat in a place with water oozing up from herself. What does that mean? Well, she must have been at the spring. Ormeus ut defendat upidum. Let us pray so that he or she may defend the town. None of this makes any sense. Maybe someone with better Latin than me could help me read it. The book is so big, though. It would be a lot of work. I could ask Sister Gertrude or Baltus for help. Werner, too. He's much better at Latin than anyone else in town. Maybe Father Thomas, even though Dad warned me not to bother him with secular books. Chances are slim they could help, but it might be worth asking about. I should finish writing my letters first. Mother Illuminata told me that Matthew knew some of the Abbey's earliest history. He's the Archdeacon of Sion now. Sean? Once a free imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire, Sion became, I don't know how to say it, Sion, became the capital of Valais when the canton joined the Swiss Confederacy following the Swabian War in 1499. Okay, great. I'll write to Esther too. Let's write our letters, and then I'm going to raid somebody and go night-night. Most revered Mathieu Fossing de Saux, Archdeacon of Sion. My name is Magdalena Drucker, and I'm the daughter of Tassing town printer Klaus. My father and I are creating a mural for Tassing's Rathaus. We want to show the history of the town and the abbey. Mother Illuminata told me that you might be the best person to ask about Kearsarge's early history. I would understand you are a busy man, but we would be most appreciative of any information you could give us. If you know of any other places where we might learn about the abbey's history, we would appreciate it. It may be a small comfort, but there are many in Tassing who regret, what happened during the revolt. I'll add it in. Sister Gertrude is still here with the poor Clares, and she speaks fondly of the old abbey. Thank you for your help. Magdalena. Magdalena. What are we going to write to Esther? Hey, girl! Esther, please forgive me for writing soda. So much has happened since I last wrote. Even my last letter was en route to you. My dad was attacked in the workshop in the middle of his night. He survived, thank God, but his injuries are terrible. I worry about him. He's so dizzy I can't get out of bed. Some days his eyes become foggy and his memory fails him. Dr. Stoltz says he's not going to be recovering, and it's only a matter of time before he succumbs to his injury. Of course, our good doctor is incompetent and a known drunkard, so he's been of little additional help. Wow! Okay. I can only pray that between resting and my ministrations, Dad can at least be comfortable. I have no idea who could have wanted to attack my father or why. I found a note by him, too. All it said was, "Stop." I wasn't from the shop because the script was written in the most elaborate hand I've ever seen. No one in Tassing has such skill in script as far as I know. And anyway, I don't have the time to wonder about it. I've had my hands full running the workshop alone while tending to Dad. What's more, the town council intended to cancel the mural entirely. I had a hell of a time convincing them to let me paint it instead. They made a fuss about me being too young, not experienced enough, not strong enough to be on the scaffold. Blah, blah, blah. Bitch, bitch, bitch. You know how it is. I can't wait. I suppose I shouldn't have expected any better of them. Working on the mural has been a welcome distraction from the naysayers on my chores. And worrying about Dad. Oots has been coming over under the pretense of helping me prepare my paints, too. Sweet, I'm glad for the company. He makes the days easier. I'd like to have the whole mural finished by Christmas if I can. I just wanted to finish it in time for Dad to see it. It would mean so much to him. If Dr. Stoltz is right, I don't know how long I'll have. I hope you're faring better than we are here. All my love. Magda. Well. Okay. Who are we gonna raid? Steven Spawn. One of the best guys around. All right. Well, I'm going to try to play some... I'm going to see if anybody's available from the guild to play Fortnite on Sunday, but if not, I'll be playing more of this. So, Sunday at 7. See you guys later. Appreciate you being here. I feel like I'm just reading all the text, but it's such good writing, I can't make fun of it. It's just so fun to just read. And thank you for tolerating my horrible accents and my terrible mangling of many languages. Okay? You're all the best. I'll see you later. Bye.